Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for NBA Finals Game 7, presented to you by YouTube TV on ABC. Right now, kickoffs in 30 minutes. We have Coach Troy Taylor, the king of Route 10, in the building. Coach Taylor, how do you feel about Game 7 of the NBA Finals presented to you by YouTube TV?
The NBA Finals, OKC Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers, has been wonderful. NBA basketball is fantastic. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, YouTube TV. Coach Bald, let's go. Fire emojis. Man, we are pumped up. Lambo, what do you think about Game 7? Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Haliburton, OKC Thunder, SGA. What's the keys for both teams to come away with that trophy?
It starts with the Indiana Pacers. You have to get ahead of the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's Game 7. You can't hold nothing back. You can't hold no adjustments back. You got to put it all in the fire. You got to make sure that Haliburton gets the ball to everybody. You got to make sure Siakam gets his points. You got to make sure Obi Toppin gets his points. And they got to play fast. They can't play half-court basketball. Along with Oklahoma City Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander cannot have 8 turnovers again. But that probably will not happen tonight. Game 7 at Oklahoma City. I know I picked the Pacers to win this series, but in order for the Pacers to have some type of miracle, they're going to have to stay ahead on schedule and make sure that SGA doesn't get to his spots. Indiana, if they want to do it, limited turnovers as well.
Man, we're pumped up. Here you go, fans.
Welcome once again to the NBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV.
All the Pacers out there. The Thunder. Man, Game 7. Lambo, what's up with the NBA draft? When is that occurring? Are you pumped up about the NBA draft?
I think they're copying the form of the NFL because I think the NBA draft used to not be 2 days. It used to be all in one, and the draft was like 5 hours. But the draft, I think, starts on the 25th. So I guess it starts on a Wednesday or a Thursday. So you're going to have a double day of the NBA draft. But also don't forget that you got Cooper Kupp, who is going to be selected number 1 by the Dallas Mavericks.
The man from Seoul is in the building. Man from Seoul, what do you think about tonight's game? Indiana Pacers versus the OKC Thunder. Tyrese Haliburton versus SGA.
Well, I'm just rocking out. I'm getting pumped up over here. Y'all can't hear what I'm listening to. It's kind of nice because I'm just grooving over here in the city of Paris. I'm coming to you live here from Paris, Saint-Germain. I flew over to catch a couple games, and I'm coming to you live here. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning here in Paris, but we're going to do this.
And what do you think about the game tonight? Have you got the Pacers or do you have the Thunder, man from Seoul, in the NBA Finals, Game 7?
I'm going Thunder and under. And I think that, I can't – the numbers just didn't agree with me today. But I tell you what, I think it's to be closer than the, it's going to be right there on the cut line. But I'm going to go ahead and just throw a number out there. I'll say OKC 95, Pacers 86. 9-point win for the Thunder.
And what are you saying, Lambo?
I think both teams will probably score over 100. It might be like 104 to – no, let's do 107 to 101.
Big news in the NBA today. Kevin Durant has been traded What are your thoughts on that man from Seoul?
Well, when it first came out, I was driving, and my first initial thought was, come on, guys. Come on. I mean, it's game 7. Can you wait till tomorrow to announce this? And then I started thinking, and I go, nah, Houston couldn't wait that long because they didn't have to give up anything to get him. And the reason I'm saying that is it literally, when we're talking second round picks in a crapshoot 10th round pick and a bunch of second round picks and Dylan Brooks, I don't think Houston could have waited for them to change their mind or reconsider. They jumped all over that. It's a win-win for both teams, but I think in the immediate future, it's a win for the Houston Rockets because they acquired Durant and don't have to give up assets, primarily bench assets. You're trading one of the most elite players in the league, 30-point scorer guy, for a guy that Jalen Green, who's got a bright future, averaged 21 points a game. You add his points with Dylan Brooks' points and the 10th pick in the draft points. I take Durant for 2 years if I'm Houston, and then go from there. I mean,
not Graham wants Lambo. Can you grab the camera for a Lamar Jackson edit?
Grab the camera.
Like this, Lambo.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. I'm not good with the grabbing the camera stuff.
Yeah, that's what you do, Lambo.
My joint freezing out. Hold on.
How about?
Well, it was freezing, so I couldn't do it. My screen was freezing. I couldn't do it.
Not Graham says thank you very much. Not Graham, thank you very much. This is a helmet sticker for you. Not Graham said, yep, I got it. Thank you so much. Lambo, what's your thoughts on Kevin Durant and the Kevin Durant trade to the Houston Rockets? Duvase, Cardi died like 30 minutes ago. Sorry to hear that, man. Playboy Cardi has passed away, according to Davies. Lambo, how do you feel about Kevin Durant going to the Rockets?
It's not a surprise that he's going to the Rockets. Are they going to be a better team? We'll have to figure it out. I don't think they're a better team than the Oklahoma City Thunder heading to next year. I don't think they're a better team against the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets. So we'll see if they're going to be any type of contenders. But like what the man from says, they didn't really lose any. Go ahead.
I'll break in there real quick because I thought it was very interesting. You said they're not going to be better than those teams, but the folks in Vegas have been the second best odds to win the NBA title next year to Oklahoma City Thunder. I thought that was very interesting. Continue.
And like the man from Soul says, they didn't really lose nothing, to get Kevin Durant. They basically got him for, whatever. We'll just have to see how that plays out. I like Ime Udoka. As a coach, he did well with the Celtics. He was a longtime assistant under Greg Popovich in the Spurs. So he got a long-term extension for a reason for this to happen. If they didn't sign him to a long-term extension, I think the New York Knicks would have got him as the next head coach. But we're gonna have to see how that plays and what happens. I'm not saying that Houston is not going to be good. We're just gonna have to put the team in. They gotta put the team together, get the chemistry together, and make sure that Kevin Durant can stay fully healthy.
NBA Finals Game 7 live. Pacers versus the Thunder. Man from Seoul. Have the New York Knicks hired a coach yet?
Unless I missed it on the ticker, I don't think so. And that's not only, it's very concerning and alarming, and it puts them a little bit behind the 8 ball as we move into the draft and free agency. Especially free agency when I'm guessing and even trades. Guys that are getting traded in there or potentially being traded in there want to know who's the head coach is going to be. Because for instance, a guy like Durant with questionable coaching vacancy in New York, is he willing to sign up to go play in New York without a coach? I don't think so. So winds are turning. The only bright spot for the Knicks is they play in the East.
HB Prods
playing next year.
Yo, Totem Pole Nation. HB Prods, this is for you. Sean Parham or Parham. Sean Parham says Pacers 121, 116. John, welcome to Totem Pole Nation. This is for you. Caleb Perez says, put your hand out in front of the camera. There you go. They make edits of us. They make videos. Yeah, that's all right. They're content creators. They're the future of content creation. Faith, family, football, and the future of content creation. Thank you very much, Caleb Perez. This is for you. John Parham says Durant was not going to go to the New York Knicks. He was only going to play in a state that is tax-free, in my opinion. That's a great point, John. HB Prods. Lamar Jackson edit is so tough. I forgot to screen record. All right, so we'll do it again. Lambo, thank you for not participating. Reaper. Sports is nothing without integrity. Man, that is awesome. Man from Seoul, do you think that Kevin Durant was just going to go to a state without a state tax?
I'm not wholeheartely buying that. I just think that those locations just fit for him. I don't think he wanted to be anywhere near cold weather, and just those, the cold weather, the warm weather states just happen to be Texas and Florida. But there's other states out there, like the Memphis Grizzlies have no state taxes. So, I mean,
Florida Panthers fan, Australia says hi. Thank you very much. This is for you, Florida Panthers fan, Australia. The Reaper. Kevin Durant has a history of hitting the reset button. He wants instant success. Sean Parham. Clearly, his top three choices were Houston, San Antonio, and Miami. All three are tax-free. Florida Panther fan says, I'm in UK with my wife, Emma Grace. Man, you guys are the best, Totem Pole. Man from Seoul, how do you feel about the UK?
I love the UK. What part of the UK are you guys in? I'm a Liverpoolian.
Lambo, how do you feel about the UK?
I've never been to the UK, but I heard it's a great country.
That is wonderful. Lambo. LeBron James. There's been a big talk about LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Tom Brady saying LeBron James is the GOAT. Florida Panther fan, Australia, UK says Newcastle, UK. I'm a Manchester City fan.
Big game tonight.
Who do you have tonight in the big game?
I'll take Man City tonight. Big, huge. They're here. They're here in the U.S. I think they. Matter of fact, I think they're on the West Coast, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it kicks off. They kick off tonight at 9:00. They might be playing at the Rose Bowl against.
John Parham says, "Do y'all think they gave up too much for KD?" Lambo, what are your thoughts on that? John, what do you think? Put it in the chat, John.
No, it was second round. It was second round picks. They didn't give up. No, it was second round picks. It wasn't 5 first rounds. I'm not mad about 5 second round picks. They didn't give up.
Yeah, it was a number the number 10 pick in this year's draft. So that's when you do the like the little 5th grade math. The Jalen Green, great player, is going to be a great right alongside a D Book, 6'4" guy, average 21, 22 points a game. When you had the production they're going to get from the 10th round pick, the 10th pick in the draft, and him, it's even Steven. But I mean, they're going for the short term. They think they got enough pieces around Durant to make a run at the Thunder. I mean, again, it's a win-win for both teams because the Phoenix Suns are going to rebuild. They have their cornerstone in Booker now, and you put young guys around Booker and make him the headliner. You got something. I'm not saying next year. I'm saying 3 or 4 years down the road. But it'll be an attractive destination for free agents as well if you're able to accumulate young talent as the Pacers and the Thunder and the Celtics and they just become attractive destinations, especially it's Arizona's a nice location too as well.
Hey Lambo, can you do the comments?
Florida Panthers says go Boston Red Sox and Worcester Red Sox and Portland C and Asper Crunks. John Parham says MJ will always be the GOAT. Reaper says Durant's upside is still top 5 good trade for Houston. Florida Panthers says go Abbott's Crunch, Florida Panthers, Red Sox, and Boston Celtics. We got Daniel Berry Sports Highlights in the house. Daniel Sports Berries is for you and everybody else at Totem Pole Nation. Larry Brown says hi. Larry Brown, you do the Totem Pole Nation. Florida Panthers says let's go Pacers and Boston Celtics. John Parham says honestly 2 good players and Brooks and Green and a top 10 pick, I think they did. Reaper says 7-foot shooting guards like Durant and Unicorns. Good gamble by the Rockets. Florida Panthers fan Australia says Abbotsford Conks. It's my AHL team. And also he says Asper Conks are my AHL team. This is for everybody at Totem Pole Nation. Thank y'all for tuning into the NBA Finals presented to you by YouTube TV.
Once again to the NBA Finals presented by
Are we going to be live streaming the NBA draft?
Of course.
Of course.
Blaine says, what's up, Totem Pole Nation? And yes, sirs, fans. Blaine, this is for you. Thank you for tuning in to Totem Pole Nation. Let us know how you're doing today. John Parham says the question mark is can Houston win it the next 2 years because all you get is KD. Florida Panthers says AHL is a lower hockey league. High Form says can you grab the screen for an Anthony Edwards edit. Man from Seoul, what do you think about the Houston Rockets? Will they win it the next 2 years with Kevin Durant?
Well, I will tell you this: next year they have an outstanding chance. Again, the summer still is upon us, and if there's just one team in their way, and that's I'm talking in terms of what Vegas is talking here. They're saying, I mean, even you got OKC and you have Houston second betting odds to win the NBA championship next year. That's pretty significant because one, they're accounting for what's going on in Boston, and two, they're saying the Pacers will take a step back, and then three, Houston has a superstar. Okay, Houston has a superstar that OKC, whether they win tonight or not, they're going to have to deal with them. That's a superstar that has immense talent around him in the starting five, and then they did not deplete that bench because they didn't ask for players; they asked for picks. And the last two stops for Durant, it's been Durant starting five and a really depleted bench. That's the problem that they had in Phoenix, why they couldn't get that show, up and running because he had the bench. The bench got depleted when they traded Durant into OKC. Phoenix. All the bench mob went out to Brooklyn and then they scattered about, and then they're all scattered throughout the league. If they would have kept that bench in Phoenix, Phoenix would have been a problem, but they just couldn't because you got to give up something to get something. So but in this case, they gave up, like you said, second round draft picks, a first round draft pick, and your leading scorer, which that's Durant will take over for that lead scorer role. And then, solid organization, solid coach, which is very important because he got those young guys playing, and that was very attractive for Kevin Durant.
Florida Panthers fan says, go Kansas City Chiefs. Thank Travis for coming back at the age of 36. King Supreme said, what's good, Coach Lambo? King Supreme, thank you for tuning in to Total Pole Nation. This is for you. Hype Fam says, who will win Game 7? I got the Pacers 107-104, and we have the guy from South Carolina that is the man from Soul's favorite, Brandon Toms.
I got
who
OKC.
Do you got?
Yo, who we got, Brandon Toms. You got to give us something. I need something, like something to get me excited, something to make me to run to the window. Give me something, Brandon Toms.
Drew James says Hornets in 3. Florida Panthers said Travis Kelce, welcome back to Kansas City Chiefs. Excuse me. Go Kansas City Chiefs. Hype Fam says who will win Game 7 of the NBA Finals. They said that they got Oklahoma City winning Game 7. Brandon Tom says, I think the Suns won the trade, to be honest. Why do you think the Suns won the trade, Brandon Toms? Justin says Pacers will win. We got a lot of comments up in here.
Man,
King
thank
Supreme
you, y'all.
says, how do y'all feel about people saying the Suns won the trade? Florida Panthers says Matt Araiza is back with the Kansas City Chiefs. Thank you, punter God. John Parham says the West will be too strong for Houston to possibly win it. Not a Lakers fan, but if they make a move for a center and Minnesota make a move and the Spurs as well. Hype Fam says Phoenix will be cooked because Bill's no trade clause. Florida Panthers fan says Matt Araiza, what do you guys of Kansas City Chiefs bring back Matt Araiza? Hype fan says, what is y'all favorite NBA player? Who is your
Sean
favorite?
Morant. Sean Morant's my favorite player.
The man from Seoul. What is your favorite NBA player?
If I had to say a current favorite, I would have to go with I don't really.
You like Tyrese Haliburton?
No. No. Nope, not a fan.
LeBron.
No.
Who's your favorite player? While he thinks, Lambo.
I don't have a favorite NBA player. Michael Jordan.
Okay.
I don't have a favorite current NBA player. We got comments. Joseph King said, Oklahoma City, let's go. Florida Panthers, A&M. Is Matt a razor? Is he a good punter? What do you guys think?
He's a great punter.
Yes, he is.
Joseph King says his favorite player is LeBron. Brandon Tom says KD is too old, and he has tried to do this before. He can't do it by himself. Also think that Jalen Green and Brooks plus whoever they get at 10 gives you 5 or 6 good players instead of 3. King Supreme 14 says KD is going to do great things for the Rockets if he can get a better surrounding cast. Branton Frank says, can you grab the camera for a Lamar Jackson edit?
You grab it, then you pull your hand away. Yeah.
Hype fan says, who's y'all's top 5 players current of all time? Also love the streams. Keep it up. Hype fans is for you and everybody at Totem Pole Nation. There you go. It's a good one.
Like a bunch of crazy dogs.
Current?
Who's y'all's top 5 current players of all time?
Of all time?
No, players
of all time.
I can only talk from when I was alive. And I
It
say
says
Michael
current.
Jordan won. I'd say Magic, Kobe, LeBron, Steph. There you go. That's my 5 for my lifetime.
Do you have a current top 5 all time, the man from Seoul?
It's very similar. I mean, yeah. But
Hype Fam's got a good one. Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, Kobe, Magic.
Florida Panthers fan says, what about Jake Barstool? Was he good at college football? Is he a good tight end? What do you think?
who?
Jake Barstool.
Or it might be Bringstool or something, because it looks like he says Jake Bringstool is a good fit for the Kansas City Chiefs as a backup.
I think it was
tight
a
end.
great fit. I think he's going to be a great tight end for them. I totally agree with you, Florida Panthers fan.
Where do you play college ball?
Florida
Game
Panthers fan,
7.
where did he play college football at? King Supreme says people say Shai is a free throw merchant, but almost every MVP has averaged 10 or more free throws when Shai barely averages 9. John Parham says MJ, T-Mac, Grant Hill, Iverson, and Penny are top 5 all time.
I love Allen Iverson, man.
This is everybody here at Total Pole Nation. This is for you. We'll give y'all the origami.
Hey, like the stream, y'all. Like the stream.
John Parham says, if Grant Hill or Penny stay healthy, they could have been top 20 all-time IMO. Joseph King has his top 5 is T-Mac, Kyrie, LeBron, Shaq, and AI. Eric Costa says
AI and T-Mac should go down on the all-time underrated team ever. They're the top 2 guys on it. T-Mac and AI. Because we don't even talk about those 2 guys in the top 10. I mean, you barely talk about because you know they went through, they didn't win a championship, but man, I mean, and that's this whole discussion we're having with this championships matter and all of that. But man, if you were watching T-Mac in his heyday and Allen Iverson, you would swear they were top 10 all time while you were watching them and it was live in front of you. But then they just go to the wayside because there's no rings to go with it, you know. Even Charles Barkley, as old as he is and his time has passed, dude, he was an absolute animal, unstoppable force at 6'4". I mean, he did what he wanted to do.
Eric Costa says best bet. Guys, who do you got in tonight's game of Game 7 of the NBA Finals?
OKC.
OKC. Not.
For
And
the
again,
Panthers.
I don't know. I would love to talk to a Pacers backer tonight because I don't know how you take the Pacers tonight, just unless you're just a fan of the Pacers. If you're looking at numbers, analytics, everything, how do you take them with your money tonight? I don't see it. I don't understand. And if they win, great. But great. But the smart bet should not be on the Pacers. I just don't. It's a waste.
Florida Panthers fan says Larry Bird, my favorite Boston Celtics player, and Jason Tatum. Lincoln Skrillam says that I think Jake Bringenstool went to Clemson as a tight end. Clemson University.
Good job, Lincoln.
Isaiah Torres says if Derek knees worked, he would have been the GOAT. Are we talking about Derek Fisher? The NBA player Derek Fisher? King Supreme says 1 LeBron, 2 Jordan, 3 Kobe, 4 Kareem, and 5 Magic. Kelly says you need Chuck Norris.
Amen.
Florida Panthers fan says Larry Bird, Jason Tatum, Paul Pierce, Boston Celtics, my favorite players. Isaiah Torres says Rose, Derrick Rose. John Parham says facts. King Hat says Allen Iverson is winning and John was on the same team, and it would be great if you got some hair body. John Parham says D Rose too. King Supreme, does Steph Curry deserve to be in the GOAT conversation, Coach Taylor?
Yes. And I'm not a Steph Curry fan, but that dude, he's probably one of the biggest underdogs of all time, man, even though his dad was an NBA player. I mean, Virginia Tech wouldn't even offer him a scholarship. So Steph Curry, yes.
Hype fan says if you could pick any player 10 seconds on the clock, who would take the last shot, in my opinion, goes to Jordan and Kobe. Also, T-Mac definitely most underrated, injury-free. He would be top 15, no MVPs, but 2 scoring titles. I'm going to take Michael Jordan.
Whoa. Last shot of the game? Have y'all been watching the NBA Finals? It's got to be Haliburton.
What's that Hallie?
Florida Panthers. No, I don't take Jackers. I'm taking Michael Jordan. It's
Michael
my final
Jeffrey
shot
Jordan.
in 10 seconds, not Haliburton.
Wait a minute. This game starts at 8?
Yeah.
Whoa, Mule. I'm not ready.
Florida Panthers fan says Larry Bird, Danny Ainge, Robert Parrish, Paul Pierce.
Dude, they're not ready. They're not ready. They're not ready.
Players.
They're not ready for this.
Who's not ready?
JK said
Indiana's not ready. I can tell.
JK says Lambeau.
They're not nervous, but they're not ready. Oh my God, they're not ready. They need another.
JK.
They're in big trouble. We're in trouble, folks.
JK says Lambeau, who's your favorite NBA player of all time? That's Michael Jordan. Isaiah Torres says Pacers. Hype fans says I don't think any league is safe with the Pacers, and Hallie will show up in the clutch. Isaiah Torres says not a fan of the Pacers. Infield Insight says Paul, who is your favorite athlete last? Who's your favorite athlete last of all time?
I think it's Jordan.
Florida Panthers says John Havlicek is the Boston Celtics greatest player of all time.
Can we pause for this intro? This is sweet.
We got a lot of comments. A lot of comments in here. King Supreme says, I agree, Coach Taylor. Joel H says, give LeBron 10 more years and he still wouldn't be the GOAT. Laugh out loud. Joseph King says, do you agree that LeBron is the best around player ever. Do y'all
No,
agree that
Michael Jordan is
is
the greatest of all time. But I
you
respect your opinion, Joseph. Tom Brady said he was the GOAT.
Isaiah Torres says, smart bet has never been Pacers analytic, but I keep winning money with the Pacers. Excuse me. Let's go out with a bang. Let's go Pacers. King Supreme says Holly was overrated until his playoff run started. Justin Squirrel says LeBron is the GOAT. Florida Panthers says John Havlicek, Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Danny Ainge, Paul Pierce, Jason Tatum, Kevin McHale are the best Boston Celtics player of all time. Justin Squirrel says Pacers will win. Florida Panthers fan says go Boston Celtics. Florida Panthers fan says Boston Celtics are the best team in the world. Go Boston Celtics all day and all night. LeBron James. Hey, who's talking to LeBron?
Man.
Florida Panthers
You're
says,
the GOAT, LeBron. Thank you for coming on the stream.
Florida Panthers says Boston Celtics better than Michael Jordan. LeBron James says LeBron James is here. Good little boys.
Amen.
King Supreme says Tom Brady says LeBron's the GOAT at Fan Addicts.
LeBron, hit that dollar symbol, LeBron. Hit that cash symbol.
Joseph says, let's go Jets this year. Florida Panthers says, I'm a huge Boston Celtics fan.
Yes, you are.
Word of Elijah's in the house.
Yes.
I'm putting the Coach Troy fix in. Pacers by 30 tonight.
Wow.
They're not winning. They're not winning.
Is in.
They're not winning by 30 on the road.
Did you see the guy?
LeBron
Siakam?
says, thank you. I'm the king.
Yes.
This is for everybody here at Coco Nation. The NBA Finals has started right now.
Welcome once again to the NBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV.
Florida Panthers fan says go Boston Celtics and Kansas City Chiefs and go my wife Emma Grace.
That is amazing. You're a good husband for shouting out your wife. That is
the word
good
of Elijah says he went for OKC last game and that's why they lost. Leonardo, I can't comment on that because it's inappropriate. King Supreme says Shai and J-Dub need to go out if they want this bad. Free Bag Fresh says LeBron is not better than T-Mac. The word of Elijah says Rockets just killed their whole roster unless they find another point and replacing Van Fleet. Florida Panthers says, yeah, and she's sitting next to me.
Yeah. Tell her she is a wonderful wife.
NBA Finals.
And thank you for being here.
Who do you have tonight?
I'm going OKC.
The word of Elijah. If OKC want to win, put Joe in. Florida Panthers said, Donald Trump, you jerk, or Jeep, or whatever it is. Word of Elijah says, no way I trade Green. That was just so dumb. What is y'all's thoughts on that trade? Was it a good trade, Coach Troy Taylor?
All those guys are on the Phoenix Suns now, and they got a first-round pick. I think that the Phoenix Suns are building for the future, man. That Jalen Green guy, he can jump out the gym. I see there's a traveling man on here.
King Supreme and Shai we trust, especially in Game 7. The word of Elijah, they should have went Van Fleet with Jabari and Brooks. King Sonaro, thank you for your comment, but look, we are together. We're not against anybody, so we are together. But appreciate your comment, though. Appreciate your comment.
You're a traveling man.
Look, Game 7 of the NBA Finals is on. The Indiana Pacers are up 2-0, and Haliburton, I think before the foul call, was jacking a three. Already jacking a three.
Man,
what has to
OKC
happen
Thunder
for the Oklahoma City Thunder to win tonight? The man from Seoul, and his mic is muted.
Your mic is muted. Check, check, check.
His mic is muted.
I didn't say anything.
What has to happen in order for Oklahoma City to win the championship tonight? The man from Seoul.
Don't turn the ball over.
Indiana Pacers 5, OKC Thunder 2. Man, SGA is a certified superstar, man. I did not know that until this series. That shows you how much basketball I've watched. SGA is a certified superstar.
SJA or John Morant.
SGA's better.
SGA.
He can
SGA.
shoot.
DJ Gamer 15 says, let LeBron is 40 and still not walk. The word of Elijah says,
How about let LeBron cook?
the word of Elijah said, just go ahead and repeat everything you just said, big guy. The word of Elijah says, have to get Dort involved in SGA. King Supreme says SGA Aura Alexander. DJ says OKC all the way. This is for everybody here at Totem Nation.
I'm legit. What did you say?
Florida Panthers fan says, guys, Florida Panthers,
Hi, Emma
you're already
Grace.
in here, but we'll give you an intro. Here you go.
Star Groove, I'm going to Ohio. I'm going to Canton, Ohio next week.
Star Groves is for you.
What the Hallie?
Front door.
What the Hallie?
Joseph King says, I'm glad it's new teams this year going for the chip. LeBron says it's not our ball, but it's our ball. DJ Gamer says LeBron is kind of washed. Florida Panthers says me and my wife are having a romantic weekend.
Wow.
Wyatt Burley said, what's up, Totem Pole Nation?
Yes.
Coaches, how is y'all's night going?
Wyatt's the best.
What the Hallie?
What the? Tyrese Haliburton, Indiana Pacers.
What the Hallie?
Damn.
Ooh.
Okay.
LeBron says, what the hell, Lee? Stargrove said, that's awesome, Coach Troy. Enjoy the Football Hall of Fame. Florida says she needs calls because she's learning disability and I have autism.
Okay, well, that's good. I appreciate you being on here with us, man. We love y'all, man.
He said, my wife has a learning disability.
Yeah, so do I. I appreciate y'all being on here, man. Like the stream, y'all. Spam the heart emoji.
What the Hallie? Indiana 11, Oklahoma City 6. What the Hallie? Ooh. It's a good layup by Lou Dort. The word of Elijah with the laughing emoji. Florida Panthers says, thank you. She's 20 and I'm 31.
Good.
DJ Gamer says LeBron is kind of washed. He lost to Ant-Man.
Ooh.
Wyatt Bird said, what is the score right now? 11-8. Indiana's up 3. SGA is getting to the paint, and he missed. Word of Elijah says TJ's is basketball, not tennis. The word of Elijah said, what's good, Wyatt? LeBron James says, I'm LeBron, and I have big you-know-what. Wyatt Burdick said, what's good, Elijah? Florida Panthers says, Donald Trump, move. It's for everybody here that's been commenting on Totem Pole Nation. This is for everybody here. This is Game 7 presented to you by YouTube TV.
Welcome once again to the NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV.
SGA at the free throw line.
Hey, whose TV can I hear? Is yours, Paul?
Yeah, I'm getting fired up. It's what the Hallie.
ER says, I'm assuming Coach Taylor is the probation
Exactly.
officer of the other two guys. What the hell? There you go. See? You start jacking. Oh, look, he's jacking. Oh, he's jacking. He's a jacker. Oh, Lord. Did they put that devil spirit in Tyrese Haliburton? Oh, he's jacking now. Is the fix in? He's jacking. The
Pacers
word of Elijah
14.
says, I see Tyrese. But that may be a bad thing with him hitting shots early. Lance Stevenson effect will be in motion very soon. Lance Stevenson? I mean, Lance Stevenson played defense, but I don't know about the Lance Stevenson effect. That's The cool guy says pause.
Pause.
Verdict says, man, why are we getting political on Totem Pole Nation? We are focused on basketball.
Yes. Yes, we
Sports
are.
says, who is the better all time, Russ or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
Russ, because he played longer. But SGA is going to be good.
The man from Seoul, what are your thoughts after this first timeout between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers?
Well, besides, I will say this. I mean, the score is the score, but besides Haliburton getting 3 clean looks at threes, the rest of the team really hasn't done anything. I mean, Siakam even hit a 3. They have no points inside, literally no points inside the 3-point line. It's a good feel out. That's what I see so far. And also SGA is getting downhill already, so expect him to be at the free throw line at least 20 times a night to slow this game down.
What are your thoughts, Coach Troy Taylor?
We got a lot of comments, man. This is a fun game to watch. I'm fired up, man. Indiana Pacers, OKC Thunder, Game 7, NBA Finals.
DJ says Russell Westbrook is washed. John Parham says Haliburton want that MVP. Word of Elijah says I will not tolerate any Russ slander. Wyatt Birdie says too early to tell. Right now it's Russ, but Shai has a long career ahead of him to become better. The word of Elijah says I will show up to your house. I'll show up to your house too. Russell Westbrook, don't disrespect Russell Westbrook. He's a hustler. He plays defense. He has every team he's been on, he's always that guy that has heart. Don't disrespect Russell Westbrook. Sports says Shai gets glazed and Hallie is overrated. And J-Dub is just tough. Coach Troy Taylor, what is your thoughts on this comment?
I think all of it could be true. SGA's a good player, man. Haliburton, he makes some big shots. And J-Dub is tough, so I agree. With Sports. Thank you, Sports, for being on here.
The word of Elijah says Dort and Joe need to go off tonight for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Man from Seoul, what do you think in the first stop at your play? The Pacers and the OKC Thunder.
Again, feeling them out. It's moving slow, just like I thought. Those threes that went down, as the Himbo stated, the threes going down early it's a good sign, but it's not a continuous sign. I don't want to see them going down because then they can just go cold, and then it looks like the other games. Like OKC warms up, they can't hit a shot, they try to go inside, they start clanking, and before you know it, they're up 8. Caruso, there he goes, he just hit a 3. And now see, they're still looking for threes, and now they get late second shots and they do that. See, that right there is a microcosm of why threes going down early is not a.
LeBron James says Steph Curry sucks, Jimmy Butler sucks, Kyrie Irving sucks, and I'm the best. Florida Panthers says the MLB umpire was garbage today, and Red Sox fan, I'm angry. DJ said Russ is a bum. Can't lie, I feel like Russ is good, but at the same time, Russell Westbrook is washed. Curry Sports says, what the F? Curry is better than Braun. The umpires cost us the game. Florida Panthers from Australia.
I know how you feel, man.
Dario Joseph,
Yes!
hey coaches, I came on here to say that OKC has to win. Y'all are the best. OKC,
Dario's the best.
KFC, UFC, Pacers in 7. What? Florida Panthers says Red Sox lost the game because of trash umpires. Wyatt Bird said, what is y'all thoughts on the Kevin Durant trade, Coach Toy Taylor?
I'm not so sure that the Suns didn't save their whole franchise by getting rid of him. I mean, they didn't have any bench help, and now they've become more deeper.
Coral Wright says OKC must win. John Parham says, I wish people would stop comparing Curry and LeBron to two different players. Valil Messenger says, did y'all hear that John Jones retired? Yes.
No, I did not.
John Jones, the greatest UFC fighter of all time.
The GOAT. John Jones is the GOAT.
Florida Panther says, don't care about KD. Dario Joseph says, Jalen Green got traded. Yes, he got traded with Kevin Durant to the Suns. Florida Panthers fans says umpires in NBL and AHL are trash.
Yes.
It's for everybody that's been participating in the comments. It's for everybody here at Totem Pole Nation. Wyatt Burdick says we will miss John Jones. John Parham says John Jones was forced to retire.
Wow. NBA draft Wednesday, 8 p.m.
LeBron James, I appreciate your comment, but I can't read that. It's not appropriate. Florida Panthers fan says my wife, Red Sox fan and Aussie Rules football fan. We bought Collingwood Mackey's fan, Magpies fan. There you go, Tyrese Haliburton. He trying to be Kobe Bryant. He trying to do it. He trying to do too much too early. Oh Lord, you got to hold the ball. Obi Toppin. Oh, see, you're doing too much. Come on, Tyrese. He doing too much.
SGA, man.
He hurt his calf again?
He's hurt.
He hurt his calf again.
Tyrese Haliburton is hurt. Bad.
John Parham says another bad DUI. He hurt his calf again. Oh, my God. He just fell. Oof.
Yeah, the guys.
Panthers fans from Australia says
that's to the right Achilles. You see the right Achilles buckle? That's bad. Yeah.
And we need Rhinos fans in rugby and Bulldogs and NR and Penrith Panthers and Perth Bears.
Yes.
Joseph Johnson says Shannon Sharp be like SGA, PGA, USA. LeBron says y'all coaches for the NBA.
No. Ooh. We're high school football coaches, pretty much.
Florida Panthers says we need Rhinos fans in rugby.
Yes, we do. We need to live stream the rugby.
And we Dolphins fans in rugby. Brandon Tom says Haliburton just tore his Achilles.
Wow.
Yeah, he saw it.
Indiana
that.
Pacers.
And that's, I mean, if he did, that's so similar to KD when he was having those calf issues, and then the Achilles went when he's with Golden State. I mean, eerily similar. That's terrible.
Not good. He tore his Achilles, then it looks like the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to win regardless. Because I don't know how you're going to win without Tyrese Haliburton. There's no way they're going to win now. No way.
No, this is McConnell time. Like he played well when he played well last game, dude. And now that he knows he's going to play the rest of the game, dude, he was eating last game.
I think you're right, man. I don't count. I'm not counting the Pacers out of this.
No, I didn't.
But he says at Oklahoma City, that's going to be tough. To win at Oklahoma City, they got to be ahead of schedule. That's hard.
But again, I think, I mean, they played.
They can't be behind by no 2015 like they did in game one. They're gonna have to be.
No. You got to keep it close.
Can't do that again.
Yeah, you got to keep it close.
John Parham says this just sucks. John Parham says get your bets in ASAP, folks. Laughing emoji. Kyle McDermott says ball game. Florida Panthers fan from Australia says go Miami Sharks and BC Lions.
Nice.
Yeah, it's probably.
Andy said
it's
it's a wrap.
probably suspended. No, it's not suspended. But it's
Andy said it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Front row at the fight says they have to win it for Hal. It's spicy P time. Oh, Siakam. I was
front row at the fight. I like that. Front row at the fight.
Kyle McDermott says Achilles went up his leg in replay.
Well, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, I ain't watching. That's terrible. Durant Alaska says TJ gonna take over, bro. It's for everybody here at Total Pole Nation. We want to thank you and appreciate you. NBA Finals Game 7 presented to you by YouTube TV.
Again to the NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV.
Still laying down?
Yeah.
He's still down?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Pacers fan says, yo, Pacers fan, thank
What's
you for
up,
tuning
Pacers
in
fan?
Nation. We appreciate you. It's for you, Pacers fan.
Sportsbook Lab. Yes.
Yeah.
Haliburton will come back and finish the game. No,
Oh, yeah.
not. That's bad.
He's gonna go get some of that Mahomes juice.
No, he ain't coming back. He can't put no weight on that joint. He can't put no weight on that foot. He ain't coming back. I pray for Haliburton to get better, but if you can't put no weight on that foot, you ain't coming back. Ain't no way.
Donna, Alaska. What's up?
Florida Panthers said, let's go Sharks in Miami. Brandon Tom said he's done. Front row at the fight said it's the Achilles. He's done. That's why Siakam, TJ, and Mathurin have to win this. Florida Panthers says go Miami Sharks. Sportsbook Lab says that would be legendary if he did, though.
Yeah, like Walt Frazier,
That would be legendary.
the New York Knicks.
Hold on.
Pascal Siakam, who saw when he was praying and his eyes went up in his head like the Undertaker. That was wild, man. Indiana Pacers. Indiana Pacers 18, OKC Thunder 18 with 3:51 left in the first quarter.
Sportsbook Lab says that would be legendary if he did.
Yes, it would.
But we'll see. I just right now I don't see it. You know, Caruso open for 3. Ooh, you got to make that Caruso, but you got the offensive rebound.
OKC Thunder.
Because OKC is going to find all their mismatches. Jared Salucci says, yo, coaches. Jared Salucci, how you doing?
Thank you, Jared, for being here, man. Love you, man.
Jared says you guys are the best.
Yeah, Jared's the best.
Yes. Let me fix it.
Make sure you like the stream, y'all. Let's get some more people up in here for Game 7. But you guys are the best.
Siakam. Oh, my God.
Clank.
Siakam.
Where
what the heck says heck yeah? Ooh, good shot by Siakam.
Pascal.
I don't know who.
Siakam. Indiana Pacers.
Here come Caruso. What the heck says Totem Pole Nation? Jared Salucci says I already like the videos. This is for all y'all here at Totem Pole Nation.
Woo! Hey, the more y'all comment, the better. We will read everybody's comment as long as it's not inappropriate.
Me Nito 86 said, let's go Oklahoma City Thunder. Says TJ McConnell time, baby.
TJ McConnell looks like a young John Paxson.
Who's this guy? He traveled. What is that?
Travel. Oh, he traveled. He got away with a travel. He traveled. What? That's wild. What the
Pacers
heck?
20.
SGA. Fourth quarter, dagger 3.
SGA is the man.
Wow. He got away with a travel. It didn't call it. He got away with a travel. Without Haliburton. TJ McConnell. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Jared Salucci says, your voice, Coach Taylor. How are you, Coach Lambeau, and the man from Seoul?
Yeah, thank you, Jared. My voice is back. I lost it there. Man, what kind of haircut is that?
Dunner Alaska says, I'm not watching NBA. The only way I find out is watching you guys live. What's the score? Indiana 20, Oklahoma City 22. What the heck says he's going to turn into Dame time? Word of Elijah says, fourth quarter predictions already. LOL. 22-22. Brandon Tom says TJ is trying too hard right now. He needs to slow it down. Me, Nito, 866, I'm just kidding. Maybe because I'm a KD hater, meaning if the Thunder will win, would F his legacy. I'm back now. How does it feel for Hallie to go out this early? Not good. Brandon Tom says down. Liam plays games says yo. Liam plays games for you.
What's up, Liam? Hey, man, put it in the chat. Who y'all got winning? Put it in the chat right now. So we have
too much.
OKC or IND?
Me, Nito, 866 says you guys are awesome.
You guys are awesome.
The word of Elijah said TJ is point shaving this game. The cartel must have paid him a visit. He doing too much now. I like his enthusiasm. I like his fight. He doing too much. Just slow down. One possession at a time. Sportsbook Lab says Indy. Stargrove says Indy. Juna Alaska said let's go Indy. Jared Salucci says both teams are going to play their hearts out. Hype fan says, I think there's hope for the Pacers is likely gone. Who do you guys think is going to win?
OKC. Paul said OKC. Lambeau said the Pacers. But I just want to see a good game.
We did?
Pacers 22.
I had OKC.
Pacers 22, OKC 25.
Hype fan says, I think the hope for the Pacers is likely gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Lambeau, did you see McConnell on that running the point, bring the ball up, and they just smothered him because of all that length? Like, somebody else has got to bring the ball up. That's not what they're used to.
It's not good. He's doing too much too early.
He's because in the NBA, he's a wing guy. He's not a point guard because he's too small because they're so long on the perimeter that he can't see over the defense, and when he dribbles to the corner like that, he's dead. He's dead.
Word of Elijah says, I have Caruso for 9.5 points, Dort for 7.5 points, Siakam for 20.5, and OKC winning by 7. Duna Alaska says, my first quarter prediction was 31-32.
Wow.
Me Nito 866 says, yes, I totally agree. Hopefully a great the game with triple OTs. Jared Salucci says, what you guys covering after this game?
NBA draft. NBA draft.
What the heck says rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on my gin, laid back with my money on my mind.
Yeah.
Sports Lab says the Pacers won't give up. They will keep the game close enough to have a chance to win it late. But I have Oklahoma City. What needs to happen, Coach Taylor? What are your thoughts after the end of the first quarter? Sportsbook Lab says NBA Summer League is coming up.
Yeah, we might do Summer League. We might do the Major League Baseball. And we'll do the NFL. And we will do college football this year. We're not shutting Totem Pole down. We shut down Totem Pole once football season started last year. We're not going to do that this year. I've talked to Coach Bald, and we are not shutting down Totem Pole. We're going to roll throughout football season, college and pro. What do you think about that, man from Seoul?
I love it.
Because we're having too much fun on here with you guys. And we had so much momentum going last year, going into football season. And then we shut it down. And then we brought it back this summer. And you guys are crushing it. The low man on the totem pole. We're not ESPN. We're not Fox Sports. We're not even Barstool with Dave Portnoy. We are Totem Pole Nation.
Why are you talking? Why do you say Dave Portnoy like that? Portnoy.
I don't know, because he's supposed to be for the common man. Common man for the common man.
What the heck says thank you for rapping? Me Nito 866 says you guys only do the NBA.
No, we're doing NFL, college football, everything. Baseball, Totem Pole is here to stay, man. And I'll do boxing too. We'll do anything that y'all want. Just let us know in the community.
That's it. That's lit. Jared Goof says good day.
Yeah, Jared Goof is back.
Duna Alaska says this is our new TNT.
Yes, this is our new TNT.
Coach Taylor has beef with the founder of Barstool.
I do, man. I really do. Because he's not the real deal, dude. He's really not.
I think he also has beef with the word of Elijah.
No, I like the word of Elijah. Word of Elijah is cool. He's smart. He knows his stuff. He's a real sports fan, not a fake guy from Boston. He's not a fake guy from Boston.
Wyatt Burdick says y'all should stream the AFL championship game. My Albany Firebirds are in the championship game. 2 of my football coaches are on the coaching staff. Go Birds.
Yeah, we will.
Sportsbook Lab says Totem Pole Nation is taking over. What the heck says Totem Pole Nation? We got more comments piling in. Me Nito 866 says, "Oh man, I thought you guys were just basketball junkies. What the
No.
heck says review barbecue instead of pizza on Totem Pole Nation."
Yeah, that sounds good.
Clark Boy says, "Who do you
Review
guys
what? Barbecue.
Yeah.
review barbecue on?"
That's an open.
I got
That's
OKC
an open and
winning.
shut door.
I got OKC winning. Lambo's got the Pacers. Man from Seoul's got OKC.
I have OKC.
I thought you said OKC. Yeah.
Oh, I'm happy then. All right, I thought I had the Pacers.
You picked
Yeah.
OKC.
Yes. Yes.
Star Grove says you guys should cover Evo this summer. It's a Super Bowl of esports.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll do it. Just hit us up on the community tab.
Me Nito says,
Hey,
"866."
you know what?
I
Hey,
need
dude,
Indiana.
I met a guy at Kroger whose son is on the esports team at ODU, and he's on full scholarship.
Wow.
I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah." He named this game, and I said, "Does he play Madden?" He goes, "No, he plays. His main game is this like a hunting game, like the military game."
Yeah.
But it wasn't that game.
A shooting game.
Yes. He's on a full scholarship for you to play esports.
Jared Salute says, "Stephen A, what do you guys think of him?"
He's playing solitaire during the NBA Finals on his phone.
Yeah, he's not interested in this. He's not.
He thinks he's the show, dude.
Yes.
How many of us would love to be at that NBA Finals?
Yep.
And we wouldn't be looking at our phone.
No, I would not be playing
Stephen
solitaire.
A forgot who he is.
Yeah.
He's a bad basketball player from Winston-Salem State University. We're the low man on the totem pole. You used to be the low man on the totem pole, Stephen A. Smith. Now you just have a high noon forehead.
Jared Salucci says, "Can't wait for college football season." Clark Boyd says, "I got a Pacers." Brandon Tom says, "South Carolina barbecued is great." Ryan Birdie said,
Hey, Brandon Toms, you ever been to King's Corner Catering at the airport?
Star Grove says,
Totem Pole's
"Overwatch."
not going nowhere.
Yeah, don't get the Brandon Toms. Don't fall in love over there because you went down there. Don't do it. Especially if you haven't tried things here.
Star Grove says the game Overwatch.
Yeah, I've heard of Overwatch.
Me Nito says, "I did not mean it in a positive way at all on the NBA Junkies." Jared Salucci said, "Was it Call of Duty, the man from Seoul?"
No, it was a game similar to the Call of Duty, buddy, and it was
Was it Overwatch or Ready or Not?
No, it was one word.
Overwatch.
Pacers 28, OKC 27.
Like yeah.
Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
Sportsbook Lab. Stephen A is pissing off a lot of people in Memphis.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith wants to be president.
Me Nito said, "I was hoping you guys were just NBA junkies." Word of Elijah says, "Lamano, a bad basketball player." Duna Alaska says, "I pulped up, bro." Whoa, from Alaska.
Yes.
Why
And we're the low man on the totem pole.
LSU says LSU might lose to South Carolina early this year. This is for everybody that is commenting on Totem Pole Nation. Thank you.
At halftime, I got to run to the store for Nina, all right? So y'all hold it down.
Yeah.
Clark, boy, I can't comment on that. I can't comment.
We love all people, man. We don't care what you are, white or black or yellow. It doesn't matter.
Whoa. Look, we just getting.
We love people. The American people, all people. We're for the low man on the totem pole, dude. We're for the underdogs. We're not Disney. We're not ESPN. We're not Fox Sports. We're definitely not Barstool. a fake Boston guy.
We need somebody else to carry the ball, not TJ McConnell. Somebody else bring the ball up.
Well, they got mustache guy in there.
Mustache guy.
Siakam. Brick City.
The word of Elijah says South Carolina was my upset team last year. What the heck says Autobots rollout?
Yes.
Brandon Thompson, Overwatch or Fortnite? Overwatch.
My son likes Fortnite. My son likes Fortnite.
The word of Elijah says shout out to Tar Heel Tony Bradley. Duna, Alaska says 4:45 p.m. here in Alaska.
Yes, and we love Alaska.
Win for real. Brandon Thompson says bad basketball right now. Lively Cut says if the Thunder lose, does that prove SGA didn't deserve MVP? No. I don't think so.
Thank you for commenting. What do you think, Lively Cuts? What's your opinion on that?
Me Nito says, what do you guys think of Miss Me Bound Mac Brick Reese?
I like her better than that other girl.
Duna Alaska says
Caitlin
1 point
Clark.
win for the Pacers, 112 to 111. Word of Elijah says I should have taken Ben for minus 1.5 points. Wyatt Burdick says is the USA three-peating in World Wars before any NFL team three-peats?
Yes, we're winning. I don't care if I got to be the next George Washington. We're going to win.
LaGlorious James Boy says Pacers winning. The word of Elijah says mustache guy. Pacers fan says Haliburton is injured.
Yes, he is.
Lively Cut says, it was a foul on Myles Turner. Lively Cut says, SGA was great this season, but I can't say he's the MVP of the league. I didn't think he was going to play, the word of Elijah. Wyatt Burdick says USA.
Yes.
Jared says Russia is falling in line. Russia is falling in Ukraine.
Want some, get some is what I say, man. Here you go.
Totem pole, 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 totem pole.
What is it?
Totem pole, totem pole.
What is it? It's on repeat.
Totem pole.
There you go. It was on repeat.
Hype Fam says, I think it should have gone to Jokic. Lagorius James Boy says, I personally think Jokic should have one MVP. He averaged a triple-double. What the heck says bananas are naturally radioactive. They contain potassium minus 40, a natural occurring isotope that emits radiation. That dose is tiny and harmless.
Good.
Jared Lucy says lit. The word of Elijah said that's sick. It's for everybody here at Totem Pole Nation. Presented to you by the NBA Finals. Presented to you by YouTube TV.
NBA Finals presented by YouTube.
The U.S. just went up 2-1 at the Gold Cup. We just went up 2-1 at the Gold Cup.
Jared Salusi says we need an NFL season. Coach Ball says, what a game.
The president of Totem Pole, Coach Bald, is the president of Totem Pole Nation.
Jacking. I don't even care. You made a jacket. What the heck says waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes.
Look. Why is Toppin? Hold the ball. What are y'all doing? SJA. Just SJA in mid-range. Yeah, I got.
Wyatt Birdie says Coach Bald. Jared Salucci said, yo, Coach Bald, what's good? Word of Elijah says, I'm glad SGA is taking it down to his own hands.
Kobe would.
He would?
Yes, Kobe would take over, man.
Yes. He's like, this is
Coach
it.
Bald says, watching the game of the year.
Look at that shot, man.
What about
What the
man?
heck says 877 cash now?
Amen.
Word of Elijah says, if I was the coach, I would told him this is your season. This is your game. Finish the season strong. Lucy Lewis, live 3 pick.
Bernardo Silva.
Glorious James Boyce, Kobe or LeBron?
Kobe.
Hype fans watching the stream of the year. The man from Seoul. What do you think of the timeout by the Indiana Pacers? What has to happen going into halftime? What are the adjustments that have to be made in Game 7 of the NBA Finals?
Good call, Lambo. That was a. I feel like this game's getting ready to get out of hands. We're not being tough. They're slapping the ball out of our hands when we get a rebound. I mean, they're only up 2, but he took that timeout because they're not playing tough. They're getting lucky right now because OKC's not hitting shots. But every time they get a rebound, I mean, he just pulled the ball from Toppin's hands.
Man, the chat is on fire.
Hold on.
Coach Bald, ladies and gentlemen.
Mom.
Wait, on that TV or this TV? That TV or that TV?
You're right here. You're live.
Where?
Talk to him, Aria.
Hey, sweetie.
Aria, who's winning the game? She's a little gun shy, but man, what a game. I'm super excited about this. Hey, I'll tell you what, Haliburton going down, wow, that's huge. But that's enough to rally the troops. They've got to go right now. Crystal ball, Paul, everything that's happened during the regular season doesn't mean anything now. Let's go.
All right. Coach Ball, we said enough to you. We'll go back to the little cutest thing in the world, please. Thank you. Hey, little lady, what do you think about the game?
Yeah, she deserves a helmet sticker. That's right.
Yes, she does.
I agree with that.
Say it again. Say it again.
Cartwheel?
What'd he say?
Cartwheel?
Cartwheel.
She said they don't need Haliburton to win the championship, and I might agree with her.
Yeah, you know what?
My cartwheel.
Coach Bald, I will tell you this. I lost a lot of money not following you during this finals. But tonight I said no, I can't do it. Because hey, there's a cute little person with no teeth in the I love it.
Yes. That's this is my granddaughter Aria, live here on Totem Ball Nation.
Aria.
That's Crystal Ball Paul. Say
Aria.
hi. Say hi, Crystal Ball. She gets a little shy, especially during Game 7. But I wanted to chime in, man. I love you guys. Y'all are doing awesome. We're gonna be watching you guys the whole third, fourth quarter. But what a game! We're legendary here.
Hey, Coach Bald.
Yes, sir.
Can you give me a second half little food for thought for us people that reside in Las Vegas, Nevada?
I tell you what, the way it's looking, right now, I would go with Caruso's playing his tail off. But look for McConnell for the Pacers to really step up. And hey, the big fella, 43 for the Pacers. That's the guy I think is going to get the points. He's going to have to. You know,
So
these guys.
you're leaning into the Pacers still winning this thing.
You know what? I'm leaning into those guys to hit their points is what I'm leaning into.
Got you.
And if it's close in the fourth, man, let the rest kick in. Let the rest kick in. And the big fella right now, man, 33 for Indiana. The big guy, he's got the inside game, he's got the outside game. Somebody's got to step up. These guys, they've been in this predicament before, but yeah. Looking for the
You talking
Irishman,
about
number 9 right there, coming in.
You talking about the guy that just missed 2 free throws?
Look at the Irish. Hey,
Number
Myles
33 that
Turner.
just missed 2
Hey,
free
he
throws.
shoots better from the 3-point range than he does from the free throw line.
That's
Without a
bad.
doubt.
That's not
Game
good.
7.
That's bad.
Game 7. Well, they know.
Oh.
They know.
Oh.
But hey, I got to check out, man. It's back to pawpaw time. I love you guys. Keep doing what y'all are doing. Totem Pole Nation. I will be back. I love you guys. To the next episode.
What about the little one? Where's she at? Let her sign off for you. Let the little one sign off. Where'd she go? He's frozen.
Yeah, he frozen. All right, we got a lot of comments. Sorry, I was behind. Coach Ball was on here. Word of Elijah says, make shots, stop turning the ball over. Jared Shalushi says, exactly, bro. Hype
Hi,
fan
Miss
says,
Medley.
Coach Troy Taylor, can you grab this?
How are you doing?
Word of Elijah says, Pacers are being sloppy.
She's doing good.
Is it finished?
No, not even halftime yet. It's over the championship. The word of Elijah.
Benito, I just wanted to shout my son out, man. Because he plays Fortnite. I don't play video games.
What the heck says more Totem Pole? Wyatt Burdick says, how we doing, Coach Bald? Coach Arrow's in the building. She deserves a helmet sticker. Me Nito says, Angel Reese is awful. Kaylin Clark is the GOAT. Best spot, what the heck says best spot is slam ball. Word of Elijah says might be better for the role players because they can go. LA Dodger says you look like a 2x2 Lego. Word of Elijah says Mathurin will need another 20-plus point game for them to have a chance. The word of Elijah says Pacers starters aren't just doing enough. Coach Troy Taylor, what are your thoughts after this timeout by the Oklahoma City Thunder? The game is cut within 1 point.
What's the score?
37-36.
Hey, man, I think this has been a wonderful game. OKC Thunder led by SGA. Indiana Pacers. Their leader, Tyrese Haliburton, is hurt. I think he's coming back in the second half. I think he's going to go get that Patrick Mahomes. He's going to get some of that Patrick Mahomes juice, get some of that horse tape, and be in there.
Wow.
That's my
The man
prediction.
from Seoul, what are your thoughts? The man from Seoul, what are your thoughts after this timeout? They cut within 1, but is this sustainable for Oklahoma City to win the championship?
I think it is. I mean, Indiana looks a little disjointed to me. I just think again, the MO for OKC has been this. They feel you out, and then they attack, and then before you know it, you're chasing. They know that they're dealing with a wounded team here, and they're trying to find a way to get them on their heels and then get them out of the gym. Number one, it's smothering them at point guard position because Haliburton, with his length, is not bringing the ball up the court. Number two, it's to get out and run and get easy buckets to extend the lead. And then three, once you're in the half court, pass the ball around and get a three and extend this lead even further and have the Pacers chasing. I really don't see a way the Pacers can stay in this game because the volume of shots and just the deep. Again, the OKC is the number one defense in the league for a reason, and now they really can install that defensive prowess without Haliburton. Haliburton is more useful to the Pacers as a point guard because he's so long that he can see over the defense and he can prevent people from stealing the ball. Yeah, he can get a little dribble happy on the perimeter, but you can't go small point guard against the Thunder. It's a recipe for disaster because they just smother you with length up on the top of the perimeter. And, okay. And again, another thing I will say, and I'll end it with this because I don't want to get long-winded, but OKC has not shot the three ball at the clip that they shot during the regular season or even early in the playoffs. And they are still 2 quarters away from winning the NBA championship. They have not, SGA just hit right there, but they have not shot the three ball at the clip that they're used to shooting during early in the playoffs and in the regular season.
All right, so Pablo says Pacers are playing good without Hal. Word of Elijah says whoever can start pushing the pace first will seem to win. I'm sorry, the Pacers can stay in it. Boston fan says like the stream. Fires in the chat. Fires in the chat. Me Nito says, but you decided on Fortnite instead of the other one. I'm not commenting on the rest. It's not appropriate for me to say. Jared Solution says that you guys are killing it. Jared Solutions for everybody here at Totem Pole Nation.
Gentlemen, McConnell just said, I'm going just Kobe Bryant here. He just took the ball down the court. No one else touched the ball, and he dribbled around and then shot the ball and made it. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Block.
All right. Yeah. Look, watch McConnell. Yeah, he's passing it now, but
there you go, Siakam. Oh, it was touched by Chet. Never mind.
No, but it's touched by Chet.
Tied up, man.
They're only tied up because OKC is not shooting well right now.
Dude, everyone's playing out of their gourd right now. Everyone's playing out of their gourd. Everyone's going for every block, anything they can.
OKC Thunder.
Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Game 7.
Man.
Kick.
Siakam with a big block for the Indiana Pacers. Was that SGA blocked?
Yep.
Nap Town in the building. Chad Butler.
Nate Town in the building. Word of Elijah says neither team is shooting well. That's why I said whoever can push the pace first will probably win. Well, it looks like right now both of these teams is just half-court basketball. You got both of these teams are playing good defense so far. They can't make shots.
SGA go downhill.
T-Mac.
That's a goaltend.
T-Mac is in the house.
Nobody wants to shoot threes because they're afraid to get out of it.
Me Nito says, I thought you guys said you're not like ESPN, but again, you guys censor yourselves from personal opinions.
Thank you very much, Minito. We censor ourselves from personal opinions.
Luis Hernandez said, what's the score? Oklahoma City 42, Indiana 40.
No, they don't want to shoot threes. Nobody wants to shoot threes. Nobody. Again, they had one pass too many that time. They should have just took the two that they had, but nobody. Now it's getting crunch time. Nobody wants to. Everyone wants to get that close range. Everyone wants to get a layup.
Yeah.
Have you noticed
the word of Elijah says, I'm just glad that Dort is taking shots. Louise says, thanks.
Yeah. Now, okay, remember the score because the big man just went out the game. Remember that 42-40, 219.
Obi Toppin.
Yeah, Obi Toppin is the big man now. He has to get boards. Out of bounds, yeah, them. Okay. Yeah.
Benito says you didn't. Yeah. I'm not commenting on that.
This is a crucial point because they have no big. They have no true big in the game. Now they're a perimeter, half-court perimeter team. There's no
Lucas
big.
says Pacers are hot. Pacers are cooking.
This possession, they're going to get a 3. There it goes, and it went down.
Lucas Bland, what's up, Lucas Bland? Hype fan.
Says Coach Lambo reminds me of Cash Nasty. Word of Elijah says all the Pacers got to do is drive and kick. Lucas Bland says I see Tyrese dropping 90. This is for everybody here at Totem Pole Nation. Thank you for your comments.
Welcome once again to the NBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV.
Hype fan says, by the way, it's a huge compliment. Thank you for your compliment. Benito says that PR is fire. 43-42, Indiana is up. Y'all need to not y'all. Obi Toppin for another 3. It's a good. They just jacking, but that was if Siakam wasn't there, I think OKC would have pushed that in transition. If he wasn't there for that rebound, they're just gonna jack threes now.
Siakam.
I like him getting to the board. I get Haliburton is hurt, but I just don't like the fact you take the big out and then you just got to win it based off threes, because you're not really making them that consistent, and you got some turnovers and missed free throws. Lucas Bland says, if don't win tonight, I got them next year in 2026. Word of Elijah says Carson Wallace playing over like Isaiah Joe just pisses me off so much. Benito A66 says you guys remind me of Bruce Blitz. Lucas Bland says I'm a Pacers fan and I got them winning tonight.
Nice. Lucas Bland, thank you. Benito, thank you. Word of Elijah, you're always MVP.
Jared Salucci said, what's good, Lucas? Benito says that's awesome.
Appreciate y'all, man.
45-42. You're going to have to lock that down. Good defense, Siakam. SGA. Step back. Oh, in and out. In and out. Now they can push it. TJ McConnell. Set the offense, set it. One-on-one. Neesmith. Missed. Lucas Brand said Tyrese is one of my favorite players of all time. Pick and roll with Hartenstein.
I mean, the Pacers got the lead right now, man.
That don't mean nothing. We've seen 20-point leads get blown all the time.
But not to have their leader. They're in this thing.
They got to finish. We'll see what happens
both teams got to finish.
We'll see what happens in the second half. But right now, like I said,
yes, we will. We will see what happens in the second half. Game 7 NBA
Lucas
Finals.
Bland says Tyrese is the best player on the planet. Okay. Ryan Anthony says Chris Dew. Jared Salucci says Cade Cunningham is my favorite player in the NBA.
Cade Cunningham.
Uh-oh.
All right, I got to run to the store.
Oh, that push foul.
Yeah.
Wherever Elijah says, man, 30 seconds left in this game until halftime. SGA with the ball. one-on-one against Word of Elijah says Pacers may get the Grizzlies effect with Ja Morant because they have so many key pieces and they can play ball. Verfus Future says, how do you feel about Haliburton's injury? Hype Fam says, is there anywhere in the world where CJ McCollum wins the finals MVP or is it going to Siakam? The man from Seoul, if the Indiana Pacers win tonight, who's the MVP going to go to? Is it going to go to Siakam or TJ McConnell?
Siakam.
Chase on the case. What's the score? 46-45, Oklahoma City up 1. Ryan Anthony says Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle. I'm going to take Dave Chappelle. Man from Seoul, Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle?
I'll take Chappelle. I think he's funny. I know Rock's funny to me, but Chappelle is on another level.
Woo! A Jack 3 by Me Smith. Wow. Indiana 48, OKC 47. Lucas Blaine said Tyrese is going to be a 99 overall in NBA 2K26. No, he won't. T-Mac said SGA is better than Haliburton. Hype Fam said he has a good case because it's not guaranteed. Word of Elijah says, are we talking movies or stand-up? Ryan Anthony says OKC chokers. Judge Lou said Chris Pratt or Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. if you're talking just Iron Man. The man from Seoul, what are your thoughts at the end of the first half? Oklahoma City is down by 1. What has to happen for both teams to make adjustments to win Game 7 of the NBA Finals?
I think it's too much OKC. I think that Indiana wish they had a bigger lead, but without Haliburton, I mean, and he does more than just score points. It's just his presence on the court. I think it's too much to overcome. OKC 95. Like I said, OKC 95. Indiana 86.
Benito says at first, I thought for a second that you were NBA Jerry. Benito says and also Dar Ruth. Hype Fan says who will win next season? I low-key got the Knicks, Lakers, underrated pick if a center is a chance in the conference. What's your opinion? The man from Seoul. What are your thoughts on who's going to win next year for the 2026 NBA Finals? Who's going to get there first of all?
I'll take OKC and Houston in the Western Conference Finals. In the East, now things have really been shook up because Haliburton is not going to be a member of the Pacers for pretty much the first, until the playoffs if he plays. And then Tatum, the East is wide open. So give me Cleveland, OKC.
Lucas Bland says Tyrese is not overrated. The Word of Elijah says I'm scared of the Pacers without Haliburton, to be honest. I really love with Nesmith, Nembhard, Marathon, and Shepard gets more touches. And me Nito says NBA Jerry is a legend on YouTube. Hype Fan says, are the Celtics fried? What a dynasty of fluke. They probably won't win it next year because, like I said, Jason Tatum is probably going to be out until the playoffs. So we'll see how that goes. Lucas Bland says Steph Curry got traded to the Pacers right now. Pacers and John Parent says Pacers not folding. Jared Salucci says, how do you guys feel about the Kevin Durant trade? Word of Elijah says Houston not going without Green, shaking my head. I don't know why they did that. Just a crazy trade to me. Crazy trading a UG asset is crazy. John Parham says East is cooked. John Parham says New York and Oklahoma City. Me Nito says you guys don't know who NBA Jerry is. Hype Fam says I think Drew Holiday would get traded. Man from Seoul, do you think that Drew Holiday from the Boston Celtics will get traded?
No. N-O. No. He's part of their rotation. They have him there. And now all they're going to do is help another team if they trade him. So, no, he's there. Him, Porzingis, Brown, White, Tatum, they're not going anywhere.
Lucas Bland. Lucas Bland says, I wish KD got traded to the Pacers. Word of Elijah says trading Drew would just be as dumb as trading Green. The Word of Elijah says Porzingis, yes, I could see. Do you see Porzingis getting traded? The man from Seoul.
Nope, he's part of the core. I just told you. White, Porzingis, Tatum, Brown, and what's his name?
Pritchard?
No, not Pritchard. He's tradable. The
Brown?
defense is Brown, Tatum, Porzingis, White, and the guy they're saying it was being traded. They're not tradable. The guy they got from Milwaukee.
Yep. Yeah, it popped in my head in a second. Hype Fam says there's been rumors through to try to free the salary cap. He's 34 years old next year. Will be a free agent that could leave for nothing. Word of Elijah said he just said no. Pablo Mendez says I'm glad KD doesn't have to deal with Brooks. What the heck says hope Tyrese pulls a WWE return. Word of Elijah says Porzingis to me isn't a part of their core. Vance says Horford. Lucas Bland says Tyrese is better than Michael Jordan. Word of Elijah says Pritchard definitely not tradable. What the heck says Dame Time? Vance says Drew. Man from Seoul. What has to happen if the Indiana Pacers want to win Game 7 NBA Finals? I asked you about OKC. What has to happen if the Pacers want to win Game 7 without Haliburton? Because Haliburton ain't coming back. There's no choice. They're still hanging in there. They're up by 1. Well, what do they have to do better in order to win on the road in Game 7 of the NBA Finals?
They're going to have to get an absolute heroic performance from Siakam. Absolute heroic. I don't care about anybody else on the team because anybody else on the team is predicated on what he does. So he's got to be his teammate, his former teammate, and he can summons that up. But his former teammate in Toronto, the Claw, he's got to be the Claw tonight for them to win this game. If he's not that guy, then it's OKC by 95-86.
Word of Elijah says White and Kristaps are free game to me now. Jared Talushi says, how close do you think the Detroit Pistons are from a championship? The man from Seoul.
Who? Detroit?
How close do you think Detroit Pistons are from winning a championship?
Not far away. Not far away. They're one move away. When you're in the playoffs, I was listening to a radio show a couple mornings ago, and they were like, the Durant on the Pistons Eastern Conference team. That's an elevation to the NBA Finals. I mean, it doesn't take much in the East, especially if you got a young core and you don't have to give up what you have. You don't have to give up much of what you have or your bench. They're close. But they're not going next year without a monumental move to bring in a superstar, or a sub superstar. They're not there.
Lucas Bland says, I got Tyrese Haliburton jersey in blue, and I got another one in white. Hype fan says, I don't think the Cavs are contenders. I don't think the Cavs are contenders. They think, or I think, will choke in the playoffs each year, and I want y'all's take on that. The man from Seoul. He doesn't say the Cleveland Cavaliers are contenders.
The Cleveland Cavaliers are contenders. I mean, as that team's currently constructed, they're ready to go next year. I mean, you got to understand, like, injuries play a huge part in this whole equation. And as we know what we have in front of us, if Haliburton indeed has a Achilles injury, he's not going to be available until the playoffs next year. The same can be said for Jason Tatum. So where does that put Cleveland? In a conference where the Knicks don't have a coach. There's the top 4 teams right there. Giannis, he doesn't have Dame Lillard. That's the top 5 teams right there. We don't even need to go below those top 5 teams to go, wow, who is the healthiest, who has a coach, and who has the ability to acquire talent throughout this summer? It's the Cleveland Cavaliers. So Cleveland is the favorite to me to go to the finals. Did I say they're going to win the finals? No. But they're the clear favorite currently today to go to the Eastern Conference, to go to the NBA Finals next year to play the OKC Thunder or the Houston Rockets.
Vance says, take the ball out of Shai's hands and make somebody else beat you. Bruce Lewis says, them ends as close as I am to LeBron. What the heck says Detroit needs Embiid. Word Elijah says Pistons are good, but not good enough. If they would add someone, they would have to go by 3 key players to make that team. Just like the Nets were before trading KD, Harden, and Kyrie. Me Nito, who won the 2004 NBA championship, the Detroit Pistons, they beat the Lakers, and I think the series was 4-1. They had Rip Hamilton, Rasheed Wallace, and all those guys. Subi says, what about the Nuggets? What about the Nuggets, the man from Seoul? Dwayne says OKC needs to wake up. What about the Nuggets?
The Nuggets are a force. But what happened to the Nuggets is they lost a lot of their bench. They lost a lot of their bench to guys signing with other teams through free agency. The team that won the championship, they looked like OKC Thunder. But they had the Joker, and then they had Murray. Okay. And then they were not 8, 9, 10 deep on the bench. And that was hard to beat because those guys didn't have to stress their superstars. Now they're 6, 7 deep. And they need to build their bench with solid veterans that they can get minutes from. But and then are they willing to do that? And number one, and two, are they looking into trading their core and rebuilding? Because Joker and Murray, without them, they're rebuilding. But I don't think that they are in the business of trading 2 future, or definitely 1 future Hall of Famer and 1 guy that is just he's a top 20 player in the NBA in Murray.
Lucas Bland says, how do you feel about the Tyrese injury? That might affect some ways for the Indiana Pacers as far as his injury. But they're going to have to play almost, I wouldn't say perfect, but they almost got to play ahead of schedule in order for them to win on the road. Word of Elijah says Cavs gave too much in the regular season. All valid points to demand from so. Here comes the Charlotte Hornets, young gunners. We just have to let them loose. Benito says, wow, that was pretty good, bro, on the 2004 Pistons. Do you think the Pelicans got a chance? No. The Pelicans got about 5-6 more years to rebuild, and with the whole Zion situation, it's getting worse. The Word of Elijah says the Pelicans, the Raptors are my sleeper team. Lucas Bland says top 5 non-NBA teams will make it again. The Raptors are 27, Hornets are 26, 3 Spurs 2029, 4 Nets in 26, 5 Wizards in 2030. Rico Francis says Zion, they got a new gem. How far are the Washington Wizards from winning a championship? 10 years. When is the last time the Washington Wizards won anything? When is the last time the Washington Wizards were in the playoffs? Since John Wall was there. And that was maybe it might have been when they added Paul Pierce. That might have been like 2013, 2014, or I don't know if it was 2014 the last time they made the playoffs, so they had added Paul Pierce to the team, or was 2016. I can't remember. It's been some years since the Wizards made the playoffs. Hype Fam says, do you think Giannis can get traded this offseason, especially after all the rumors? I don't think the Bucks can be contenders any longer. Same out forever, and not solid role players. What do y'all think? The man from Seoul, do you think Giannis would get traded this offseason? If it's not to the Knicks because they don't have a head coach, is he going to get traded to any type of contender in the Eastern Conference or the Western Conference?
Well, personally, it doesn't matter because Giannis is a younger player than KD, and the cost of obtaining Giannis is just going to deplete the team he's going to of their assets. Giannis, to me, is in a no-win situation. He either stays in Milwaukee and Dame time is not there, or he forces a trade to a team and guts the team's roster. He becomes the modern-day Kevin Durant, the move that he made to Phoenix. I mean, you're not just gonna if you're Milwaukee, you're not gonna just trade Giannis for nothing. So they're really in a really odd situation with him. I mean, I know he wants to play elsewhere, but to play elsewhere, you got to give the Bucks a lot of things to accommodate that trade, and I just think his best days are in Milwaukee with the current team he has.
Lucas Bland says 1978. Juris Lucci says Wizards' last championship was 1978, I believe. Rico Francis says, can you build around Zion Williamson, the man from Seoul?
Zion, no.
Hype fan says, I met Dame. My fault, autocorrect. Word of Elijah says, yeah, Bucks are cooked. Giannis to the Pacers for Turner. Don't think so. Now, but they're gonna, whether they win or lose tonight, they're gonna keep that core and probably add some more guys. Yeah, whether they win or lose, they're gonna add more key guys for the Pacers. But I wouldn't trade Giannis for Turner. I wouldn't do it. How do y'all react to the Luka trade? I was in shock. Who won the yards paid? I think the Lakers. Who won the ship in 1999? It was the San Antonio Spurs. That's why I said OKC is the only team that could get him with all their draft assets. The man from Seoul, how did you feel about the Luka Doncic trade when it happened? Who won the trade between the Lakers and the Mavericks?
I think it was an even trade. I think that no one really won the trade. I think that the NBA, personally, they needed to get a superstar over to LA before LeBron left. And now they got a building block on the West Coast at their primary destination, the Lakers, the primary franchise, the Lakers. When LeBron departs, because when LeBron departs, you can build around Luka Doncic in Los Angeles. You know, it's just like when LeBron showed up in LA, but they know his days are numbered, and they moved on to their next superstar. Okay, good, but they're not gonna. I mean, it takes a lot of luck and a lot of draft luck and a lot of free agency luck, but as they're currently constructed, they're not a potential threat in the Western Conference.
Word Elijah says, right, it was an even swap for mutual needs.
Yep.
Man from Soul, Hype Film says, do you think it was scripted or was that just wild? The Man from Soul. That was a big three by Lou Dort.
That was an unbelievable three. I think scripted. Nah, I just think it, like the word of Elijah said, it was much needed for both franchises. It was an even swap for, Dallas didn't lose anything. And the Lakers really didn't gain anything because you got to put pieces around him to even win. So it's not like Dallas gave up Luka Doncic and he's going to LA to win. No, they still need pieces. So even trade. To be determined still.
Lucas Bland says Giannis to the Lakers. Hype fam, do you think LeBron jersey will be retired in LA? But I think for sure in Cleveland and Miami. What are your thoughts?
Retired jersey?
Do you think LeBron's jersey will be retired in LA?
Yes. It's retired everywhere. Just because he's LeBron. I don't agree with it, but that's what they're going to do.
Word of Elijah says Dort minus 7.5. You got OKC running and gunning on fire, blocked. Oh, he still made it. But a call timeout with Carlisle. This is getting out of hand, and he did. He called timeout. He said this game gonna get out of hand.
Yep.
Oklahoma City going off to that fire start. Word of Elijah says Giannis can only go to OKC. Lucas Bland says Trae Young to the Pacers. Word of Elijah says Caruso minus 9.5. Jared Salusi says you guys think the Spurs will be a contender in the next 5 years. Bill back to the Wizards. The Man from Soul. Do you think the Spurs will be a contender for the next 5 years?
Yes, they will. They got a high draft pick in the first round, a young nucleus. They got the kid from Sacramento. They'll be in the conversation. I'm not saying that they're in championship conversation next year, but with Wemby, a high draft pick, and some pieces, they'll be in the conversation.
Hype Fam says, what pose do you think LeBron's Cleveland statue will have? The Man from Soul. What type of pose will LeBron have when they retire his statue in Cleveland? Lucas Bland says Wizards would be bad for 12 years. Word of Elijah says chase down block. Hype fam, is Cooper Flag overrated? But I think he is. That's just my opinion. The man from Seoul, do you think that Cooper Flag is overrated? I don't think Cooper Flag is overrated. We'll have to see how he does in the NBA. But like I said, he hasn't played a snap of the NBA yet. Jared Salucci says, Atlanta Hawks, will they trade Trae Young or they will keep him? I think if Trae Young wants to win, he needs to go somewhere else. But that depends on what assets another team will have in order to get Trae Young. Because basically, you'll give up some draft picks, but I don't know how many amount of key players off the bench you're willing to give up. That just depends. Word of Elijah says, somewhat, but he's still a hooper. He's changed my mind when he caught a body at Kentucky. Yeah. Thanks for the comments, Drew Cipher. You're kind of weird.
Drucifer.
Yeah.
He's not Lucifer, he's Drucifer.
Jared Salucci says, Coach Taylor, nice jersey.
That's right, baby. Pat Tillman in the
John
house.
Parham says the best spot for Trae is Detroit and move Cade to number 2. Lucas Bland, do you think that Cade Cunningham is overrated? Coach Troy Taylor.
I think he's good. I think he's a high flyer, man. I like how he plays.
Hype Fam says, I think the pose will be the chalk toss him holding the finals trophy.
This is a great jersey.
Crying or a tomahawk dunk may block on Iggy. Wyatt Burdick says, great jersey. Word of Life says, I thought Cooper didn't have any dog in him, but he does sometimes, just not all the time.
Let's go, baby. Pat Tillman. I thought this was an appropriate jersey to wear, baby. Pat Tillman, USA.
Indiana down by 5 points. Oh, should have got an and one. Neesmith to the free throw line. 8:54 left. Oklahoma City Thunder 56. The Indiana Pacers 51. Jared Salucci says, college basketball, you guys think UConn or Florida will win it all?
Give me UConn. But I don't know who all's got who, you know. The transfer portal.
It's going to be a different team in college basketball that wins it every year. Wyatt Burdick says, rest in peace, Pat Tillman. He wants to remember for his sacrifice and our freedom. Wyatt, this is for you.
Woo! Rest in peace, Pat Tillman.
Oklahoma City 56. Indiana 53.
Where's the man from Seoul? Is the man from Seoul asleep? Indiana Pacers, OKC Thunder. Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
Tie game, baby!
Tie game.
Indiana's hanging in now.
Indiana Pacers in the house.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for 3.
SGA of the OKC Thunder. Totem Pole Nation. Like the stream.
24 from the 3-point line.
We're up to 1.5 thousand views on YouTube, which is amazing.
Turnover.
We have 31 likes on the stream. 31. 95% of our viewers are subscribers.
Jared Salucci says 2026 NBA season, I don't think Boston would do great without Tatum. I don't think so either. SGA seems like he doesn't have that dog in him, but he's all bite, no bark. Bad turnover by TJ McConnell. Terrible turnover. SGA. Chet Holmgren for 3.
You must be ahead of me, man.
Hype fan says, do you think this will be the greatest game ever? No.
Got a chance.
No, I don't think so. I think the older NBA has some greater games too. And I'll give you one right now. Give me the 2010 Celtics and the Lakers. That was a good series. And also I can give you the 2005 Spurs versus the Detroit Pistons when the Spurs won the championship in 2005. There's multiple ones.
My rabbit ears ain't working.
Every year might be something different, but we'll see. You know, that's a good question, Hype fan. That's a great question. Hype fan said he never passed me the ball, and he passed me the ball. Mega world peace. Yes, that's my favorite finals right there. You know, I'm a Celtics fan. 2010 Lakers versus Celtics, Game 7. He passed me the ball. He never passed me the ball, but he passed me the ball. The man from Seoul, what are your thoughts after this timeout for the Indiana Pacers? I think they're down by 6. They were in a tie game.
That was
they seem to get their rhythm going now.
That last 3 that bounced around and went in, that was a dagger.
LeBron is back.
That was a dagger. Now the separation begins. And the parade begins. Remember that 3 that just rolled around and went in on the kick out from SGA? That's the dagger. This game is just going to get a separation, and it turns into a festive party for OKC.
Man, the OKC Thunder, Indiana Pacers Game 7 NBA Finals on YouTube TV.
Jared Salucci says 2016 greatest NBA Finals. It's up there. I mean, it's up there because of 3-1, but me personally, I don't think it's the greatest. What is y'all greatest NBA Finals that y'all watched?
I'll never forget. And again, I have to say Jordan.
Utah Jazz.
Thank you. When they won Game 6 in Utah, that is
curtain call.
Yes, that is like, I mean,
GOAT.
You can't even. I mean, somebody like get LeBron on the show and let him tell us that
LeBron is on it. LeBron's in here.
Okay, LeBron. What was better than Jordan beating Utah in Utah? Come on, somebody give me something better than that.
Word of Elijah says, Pacers will start to feel the breath leaving their bodies.
Yep.
Hype fans, I think the block shot everything about 2016 perfect. I'm a Warriors fan, so I can't watch it, but I know it was heaven for the Cavs fan. Hype fans says I like Game 6, 1998, MJ, the shot, the last dance crossover. Yep. Coach Ball says Cavs versus Warriors was dope.
Coach Ball, what about MJ in Salt Lake City? Come on, bro. Yeah, come on, man.
Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
I mean, the Bulls could have just bailed it in and went back to Chicago. But Jordan said, we're ending this here.
I got this.
There he goes, O'Connell. There's
LeBron, Word of Elijah said, yeah, LeBron's famous for the chase down, let alone the one in the finals. Coach Ball, we knew that was going to happen. Hype fam says also the Spurs Heat rebound, Bosch back out to Allen, bang. Hype form says, but MJ shot ended in error.
What about Hornacek? Utah. The two U's.
Coach Ball says, awesome jersey, Coach Taylor. Jess Luger says, what do you think about the 2022 NBA Finals, Boston Celtics versus the Golden State Warriors?
This game is over. It is over. That three ball, like I said, that ended the game. Now it's just a hangout session now. It's a hangout, run your offense, run downhill, get fouled, or the kick out. Nope, go to the hole. Yep.
LeBron James.
No, his name is LeBronto.
Because he's the king of Toronto.
Yes.
I'm going up to
LeBron James owns Toronto. He owns Toronto.
I'm going up to Canton, which is near Akron. The home of LeBron James.
Why don't you go up to the home of Teddy Two Gloves?
Hype Fan says an underrated pick, maybe the 2019 NBA Finals Game 6. It was on the pace to be insane Indy. By the way, LeBronto.
Mm-hmm.
Pacers 62, OKC 67. Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Presented by YouTube TV. Chet Holmgren.
The word of Elijah says OKC should call timeout.
No. Get a bucket. Go get some buckets.
Wow. McConnell.
That's a foul.
McConnell was getting it in, man.
He is.
Yeah, they still might not win. We'll see. They still might not win.
Hey, that's why we got to watch the game. Pacers Thunder. Game 7. NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV.
Hype Fam says if it comes down to it, who would take the last shot for both teams? Probably be Siakam.
SGA and then Haliburton would come out of the locker room to take the last shot.
No.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. That ain't never gonna happen. TJ.
He might come out like Walt Frazier.
That they should not be saying in the same sentence. Word of Elijah says Tony Bradley sighting. Let's go Heels. This is for you, the word of Elijah, and everybody else that's tuning in to Totem Pole Nation.
Once again to the NBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV.
You the real MVP.
We got 31 likes on the stream. M Fishing. Go Pacers.
Word of Elijah says SGA or Williams. I'm going to take SGA. Mathurin or Neesmith. I'm probably going to take Neesmith.
M Fishing, thank you for joining the stream. Yes, we like NBA edits. We'll go and like your edits, Hype Fam. And we'll comment. Indiana Pacers, OKC Thunder, Game 7. Pacers 64, OKC 70. Word of Elijah says, thanks, man. I'm making one for y'all. Thank you. Word of Elijah says, OKC needs timeout ASAP. M Fishing says, cover the screen for a Lamar Jackson edit. Yes. What a blessing it is to be on here with y'all, Totem Pole Nation. We want to help others change lives, build champions. Donna, Alaska says, come on, Pacers. T-Mac1 says, OKC going to win the chip. Holly going down, cost Pacers. The word of Elijah, regroup and get back to work. Wow.
Why are they going to win the chip?
Word of Elijah says, giving up too many easy buckets. Coach Ball says, call him TJ McFire.
Chet Holmgren.
M. Fishing says, Holly or SGA? I'm going SGA. Who are you going with, man from Seoul? I like Haliburton.
But
Ike Pham says, cover the screen for Anthony Edwards edit again. Sure. Take it off. M. Fishing says, Holly, what the helly? This is for you. Thank you for joining the stream.
Why are you laughing like Jalen Paul?
Once again to the NBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV.
And LeBron James says, do you guys like Carl Anthony? The people in New York do. Meteor says, turnovers hurting the Pacers. Yes, it is. Word of Elijah, please stop with the Haliburton hype job. It's getting disrespectful. Joey Roots says OKC. Joey Roots, welcome to Totem Pole.
I'm legit.
Word of Elijah says that's been the case the whole game at Meteor. M. Fishing said, is that LeBron James? Yes, it is. LeBron James is in the Totem Pole stream.
No, he's LeBronto. He makes his living in Toronto.
And Toby is laying, getting his belly scratched.
What about PSG? PSG. Paris Saint-Germain.
Oh, it's a turnover. Pacers 66, Thunder 75. Game 7. T-Mac, LeBron is part owner of the Raptors. Meteor says Pacers will lose by 20. The word of Elijah. Well, I can hear someone signing off in the distance. It sounds a bit beautiful, but still hard to hear. Let me check it out real quick.
What about Paris Saint-Germain?
They're in Paris.
Yeah.
Pacers 66, Thunder 77. The Thunder have the largest lead of the game. The word of Elijah says singing.
Who's singing?
I think the fat lady. The fat lady is singing.
Where's Lamborghini?
Lamborghini is missing.
He's MIA?
He's missing in action.
What? He's a Pacer guy.
Yes, he is. Toby is a Pacer guy.
Wait, hold on. Let's see if we can get some of our faithful on here.
Word of Elijah said, absolutely, Coach Troy. Meteor says, you can't turn the ball over that many times and expect to have a chance. Word of Elijah says, tell Lambo I already put the fix in. It's too late for him this time. The fix is in. It's too late, man. The fix is in, Lambo. You're done.
Yeah, at Lambo, what?
Meteoro says Obi Toppin has like 7 turnovers. Wow. Obi Toppin. The Indiana Pacers.
And the OKC Thunder.
Word of Elijah says just waiting on Siakam's 20 and a half. TS, I think Tyrese is going to go off. That's a good point, TS. The Word of Elijah, it called pressure bust pipes at Meteoro. Man, NBA Game 7 Finals presented by YouTube TV. Hype fam. Y'all low-key a fire duo. Where's the other dude? The other dude, I think he's tapped out. Lucas Bland, Pacers are winning this MFer thing. TS, I also think TJ McConnell is going to drop 21. There you go, TS. This is for you.
What? Wait. Why do you keep showing that, man?
Because it's for the Pacers fans.
No, it's funny. It's so funny.
The Word of Elijah will be at the expense of an L at T's. Meteoro, it's called Pacers not taking care of the ball. T-Mac, Pacers need Reggie to go win this one. Thanks for the choke, brother. Thank you, TS. Welcome to Totem Pole Nation. We are the low man on the totem pole. Chase on the case said, what's the score? The score is Pacers 68, OKC 79, with 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Hype fam, what's y'all's favorite team play sub? Favorite team is the Grizzlies. Favorite player is Ja Morant. Yeah, that's Haliburton vid is ironic at this point. Lucas, I got TJ topped 150. Meteoro said half the turnovers were unforced. Hype fam says, please. TS says, oh gosh, we're cooked. Hype fan says, my fault. Word of Elijah, that's what happens when your prize ball handler, that's what happens when your primary ball handler gets hurt at Meteoro. What's the score and the quarter? It's the end of the third quarter, and I got to rewind it. 68. 68 to 79. Thunder's winning. TS is my favorite player currently is Tyrese Maxey. My son likes Tyrese Maxey too. Is the other dude dead or asleep? He could be either one. Lucas, is Haliburton coming back? Possibly. If he gets that stuff that Patrick Mahomes gets shot up with. Hype fam says, never mind, he opened his eyes. Yes, he did, Hype fan.
Who?
Now, Lambeau, Alaska is in the house. This is for you.
Woo! You the real MVP.
The SGA and them, they're laughing. It's like Jalen Carter out there.
Word of Elijah.
They're laughing like Jalen Carter. Do you have that little skit?
No, I don't have that.
Okay.
Leave it up to Pascal not to reach 20 and a half. T-Mac, taking that commercial nap. Hype fam. Yeah, laugh out loud. My bad. Lucas Bland says Steph Curry is your daddy. Hype fam. Do y'all like my edits? Yes, we love your edits.
We love Jalen Carter.
Who's your favorite current player? My favorite current player is Ja Morant. Alaska says that was great. Laugh out loud. The Word of Elijah. Phillies also came through for me tonight. LeBron, what team are you betting on? I don't bet. Who are you betting on? Man from Seoul.
I got the Thunder and the under.
Cleveland Grant, OKC with the win. Cleveland Grant, thank you for tuning in to Totem Pole Nation. Hype fam says, will y'all watch them later? Yes, we will. Lucas, tag us. Tag us in those when you post them. Lucas Bland said, I subscribe to your channel. This is for you. Terry Henson, Pawpaw, Moments, come on, Indy. This is for you. Come on, Indy. The Indianapolis, Indiana Pacers.
Yeah.
Word of Elijah, Thunder and the under. Laugh out loud. That's why he kept disappearing. Hype fan, y'all too have ended racism. This makes me so happy to see a great duo. Love all. New favorite channel. Yes, we are ending racism. That is amazing.
Welcome once again to the NBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV.
We're like the modern day Martin Luther Kings. Cleveland Grant, also Houston, KD, Russ, James Harden. Meteoro, John Morant is the most exciting player in basketball. LeBron James, Indiana's the best. Hope fam, nah, y'all are actually funny. Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, usually they say we're funny looking. The word of Elijah, we're all racist, racing to the top, baby. That's right. Meteor, Anthony Edwards, disappointed versus OKC. Hype fam. The other dude's so serious now. It's y'all two. Yeah, the other dude's he's like a buzzkill, man.
Yeah.
There were some people that actually didn't want him to be on for Game 7.
Yeah.
LeBron James, Indiana's the best state. T-Mac, y'all some real OG unks. Yes, we are. Thank you very much. What a blessing it is to be on here with you guys. We got 1.8 thousand views tonight. We got 35 likes on the stream. He's probably having a panic attack. Yeah, he's trying to count that money to pay Paul. I mean, he's chill, but y'all better, to be honest. The word of Elijah, he probably put his life savings on the Pacers. Meteoro, Indiana should have kept Haliburton out of the game until the final 5 minutes. Yes, they should have. He is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, whoa.
Mr. Serious himself. Mr. Serious is back.
Mr. I pay people. Mr. ATM machine. Mr. Lambo Calrissian. Mr.
Lambo Belichick.
Mr. Lambo Belichick.
Hype fam said he's back.
ATM machine. Mr. Lambo ATM machine.
The trio is back. Are those tears on your shirt, Lambo? Y'all talked him up. Laugh out loud. OKC 84, Indiana Pacers 68. There's going to be a party in Oklahoma City tonight.
There's going to be a big party tonight. Big party tonight.
The word of Elijah, Lambo's already started sipping the cognac. He no longer has any worries. That is true.
I have no worries. I have none. This is how I wanted it to go.
Lambo now can actually ask serious questions. I got to lock in right now.
Okay, let's lock in. With Lambo.
Mason Paget. We didn't ban Lambeau from last time. Laugh out loud. Wyatt Burdick says laugh out loud. Who wanted to ban Lambeau? Was it Mason or was it Wyatt? Wyatt, leave my boy Lambeau alone, man. Laugh out loud. Meteoro, SGA, the greatest OKC player of all time. Over Durant, the Beard, and Westbrook. I remember when those three guys were playing together. Hype fam. Guys, I got to leave. Love watching y'all later. Bye. Hype fam, this is for you. Word of Elijah wants to know, are you okay, Meteoro? Mason Paget says totem pole equals the GOAT. That is awesome.
It's got to be a mentality. Yes, sir. So when you come out here, you're ready to dominate. Woo!
Word of Elijah, I get we're reading every comment, but come on, laugh out loud. Meteoro, what? We are at 1.9 thousand views. We are going to break our record on the NBA Finals live stream. We're trying to get these views back up, man. Meteor SGA is the OKC player because he got them a title. It's a good point. I love y'all's channel. We love you, Mason Paget.
Welcome once again to the NBA Finals, presented.
Basketball is a team sport. This isn't tennis. Big Sean 25. Welcome to Totem Pole Nation. Big Sean 25 says no comeback happening without Haliburton. SJ about to close out and turn up OKC. Meteoro says SGA says basketball was invented in Canada. Man.
Oh,
Canada. Speaking about geography, there was a huge debate the other day about Maryland. And is Maryland a state? Lambeau, is Maryland a state? You and Streak 5 got into a big argument about this.
No.
Meteoro, BS, bro. You need a superstar to win a title. Mason Paget, do y'all think Indy will come back? No. The word of Elijah, laugh out loud. Heck yeah, for me to leave. Man. Is Maryland a state? That was a big argument the other day. Streak 5 said it was. Lambeau said it wasn't. MVP, finals MVP equals SGA. Thank Captain Obvious at Meteoro.
Yes.
Is Maryland a state? Man from Seoul.
Maryland.
Yes.
Maryland is not, it's not a commonwealth. It's not a district like the District of Columbia.
That's why Miami had 3 of them. Lambeau, why is Maryland not a state?
Maryland is one of the 50 states in the United States.
Why is Maryland not a state, Lambeau?
When you take a test when you take a test on the 50 states, like a map quiz.
Yeah.
Right. I'm talking about just maps. It could be a
Yeah.
state, it could not be a state. I'm talking about a map quiz.
Yeah.
Nobody says Maryland as a state. No one put Virginia as a state. It'll be Virginia, North Carolina, blah blah blah. That's what it's on the map test. That's what I took in a map test. Nobody says that Maryland is a state. If you just look at the picture,
this is why you come to Totem Pole.
I'm serious.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question? Lambo, can I ask you a question? Is Rhode Island a state?
Wyatt Burdick says, according to legal records, yes, Maryland is a state. I'm confused on how people are arguing on this. I could point out Maryland in less than a second. LeBron James says you're back, Coach Lambo.
I don't know if
Yes,
Rhode Island is a state, but I know Maine is.
Maine is a state, but Maryland is not. This is great.
Yeah.
I think you're on something, Lambo.
Is Delaware a state?
You want to word of Elijah said, keep enlightening us. You can pull out, show them your map. Show them the map you have, Lambo. Show them the proof.
Look it up on Google. I'm not pulling up the maps on Google.
All right, so you can Google a map. And on the map, Maryland is not a state. Indianapolis, Indiana Pacers 68, OKC Thunder 86. NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV, Game 7. Man, what a blessing it is. Let me see if it shows up on my Safari map. Once again, Wyatt Burdick says, once again, Maine and Rhode Island and Delaware are states according to legal and government records. Beachfront view. Grab the camera for a Lamar Jackson edit. Word of Elijah. The voice is sounding a little clearer now. Yes, it is. I got my voice back and closer. Very nice singing. Beachfront view. Thank you, Totem Pole Nation. And this looks like it will be our last live stream of the NBA season. Meteoro says, wow, OKC champs. We will be back for the NBA draft. And what else, man from Soul Crystal Ball Paul? What else will we be live streaming?
Whatever you guys want. I mean, we're here. Like,
yeah, go to the community tab. Post on the community tab, y'all.
I mean, I'm just excited right now.
Alaska wants to score. What's the score?
I don't know.
The Thunder's winning.
Yeah.
Pretty by a lot. When it comes back on, I'll tell you. It's on a commercial right now. We are at 2,000 views on YouTube, and we're at 37 likes.
Yep.
Word of Elijah says, sorry to say, Lambo, but Maryland popped up on Safari maps. Word of Elijah said the score is 68-89 OKC.
Is the under safe?
Is it?
I'm hoping. It's gonna be a big night at the Medley House if it is.
Game 7 of the NBA Finals. OKC Thunder, Indiana Pacers. Tyrese Haliburton was hurt. FUQ says Indiana's winning 103-109. 101. This is for you. MFUQ. The word of Elijah with the fix confirmed. Shout out to Coach Troy for putting me onto the fix. The fix is in, man. The fix is in.
Wait. The word of Elijah said the fix is in?
The fix is always in, man.
Yes.
It's a done deal, dude.
Yeah.
The word of Elijah and pigs will fly at MMMFUQ. OKC, the Oklahoma City Thunder. I picked the Pacers to win by 20. That's okay, man. Everybody's been wrong before. Everybody. This is not an exact science. The word of Elijah, same thing Coach Troy did last game. Yes. I don't even know what I say, man. I just come on here and have fun with you guys, man. Pacers 68, Thunder 89. 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Not actually, but only so they could. I took the -7 on my payday. Teflon Don. Pacers are cheeks. Teflon Don. Thank you for coming on to Totem Pole Nation. I love the Teflon Don. John Gotti. Word of Elijah took the -7 on his parlay. Now, Pacers are cheeks. Shout out to Siakam for selling my tickets. The NBA draft, Wednesday, first round at 8 p.m. Thursday, second round at 8 p.m. And I will be up on Wednesday. I might be back. I might be driving back from Canton, Ohio. I might live stream up at the Hall of Fame. Who's never been to the Hall of Fame? I don't know if they'll allow me at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Wyatt Burdick. I had OKC and 7 for a hefty sum. It's about to be a payday. Meteoro, the fat lady saying early for the Pacers. Wow. Indiana Pacers 70, Oklahoma City Thunder 90. Wyatt Burdick said, I have never been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 7 minutes left in the finals. Indiana Pacers, Oklahoma City Thunder. Who is the finals MVP, Lambo?
SGA.
SGA, I agree. Paul, who do you think the NBA Finals MVP presented by YouTube TV is?
SGA.
SGA.
No discussion. SGA.
SGA. And Mustache Guy is in.
He's talking to Williams. There's Mustache Guy. Yeah. That's Lambo's guys. Mustache Guy and all those guys.
Meteora says Haliburton is the MVP for OKC.
No, he's not.
Do you think the Pacers will win tonight? It's not looking too good right now, Lucas. Coach Jay Freeman. What's up, Troy Taylor? Paul from Seall and Lambeau. That would be awesome, Coach Troy Taylor. Might have to get your media credentials to live stream at the National Football League Hall of Fame. Way to go, Coach Jim McNally. Bro, what at Lucas? Man from Seoul. How do you feel about Coach Jay Freeman being on here with us?
Yeah, it's a treat. It's always a treat.
It's a blessing.
Hey, it is. I wish he would just come on here and start talking to us about offensive line play.
Yeah.
I would love it.
You are my sunshine. You are my sunshine. You make me happy when the skies are gray. If you know this, you are my sunshine. Don't take my sun away. The world of Elijah.
Where's the word of Elijah?
Is Blaine when you need him.
What the word of Elijah? Does the word of Elijah like what's going on right now?
Not even prime MJ coming in can save the Pacers. Not even Reggie Miller and Chuck Person.
No. The Rifleman.
LeBron says that Bronny is better than Stephen Curry.
Yeah, I agree.
Word of Elijah, yes, other than Siakam not scoring 20 and a half.
Look.
Wyatt Burdick. Nobody can save the Indiana Pacers now.
No one can talk shit about the damn.
Is Tyrese should never wear them shoes. He wears Pumas, doesn't he? He's a Puma guy. Him and LaMelo Ball. I thought LaMelo Ball should wear Big Baller brand.
I don't feel that way.
Can Jesus save Indiana? Yes.
Can who?
Jesus. Jesus can do anything.
Yeah.
LeBron James, good boy, saying you agree. Rick Carlisle, former player at the University of Virginia. Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin looks very distraught. Save them by stopping the game early. Laugh out loud. They're down by 15 with 5 minutes. School's out for summer, and we just finished tackle football camp for 2 days. No one could score on us. Laugh out loud. Much love, Paul. I'd love to come on too soon. You will. You will be back on here soon. Wyatt, add Elijah, laugh out loud. Just peel the scab right off. Hey, Siakam. That was a foul, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The word of Elijah, Siakam has 5 minutes to score 5 points. Cooper, hate to see Haliburton go out like that. Cooper, you are exactly right. I totally agree. It was a shame to see Tyrese Haliburton get hurt earlier in the game. That's for you, Cooper. Thank you for being on Totem Pole Nation. Seth says hello. Seth, welcome to Totem Pole. Word Elijah says that's what happens when you play for people in the stands at Cooper. LeBron James, Indiana's terrible. Meteora, tomorrow everybody will say the Pacers would have lost anyway, but we will never know for sure. Lucas Bland, I don't like Tyrese's injury. We don't either. I totally agree. LeBron James, no party like a Diddy party. The word of Elijah, injuries happen when not going 100%. Game 7, NBA Finals, Indiana Pacers, Oklahoma City Thunder. Seth said, I'm on OKC. Well, Seth, that's awesome.
What is he? What is that? What is that little short? What does he say?
I don't know what he says.
Yeah.
It's just like a little song or something. Cooper, injuries happen when you try to
play that. Play that short again.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Injury is an unfortunate guarantee in almost all sports. Whatever. Myles Turner's trash. Obi Toppin's trash. And refs always been trash. Scripted NBA when LBJ leave the league is finished. And that's whatever. Whatever. Thank you for being on Totem Pole Nation. Can my team, the Pacers, come back? 75. Clips Prods. Can you put your hand on the camera for a Lamar Jackson edit, please? Yes, we can. Thank you very much, Clips Prods. 2 blatant carries, and they held McConnell's arm in front of the refs. Face no call on all 3. Laugh out loud. I totally agree. Seth said OKC is the best. Jay Freeman. You mentioned the upcoming NBA draft. Hey, y'all are in it. Hey, y'all, in your opinion, is this NBA Final Series a sign of a new way to build teams? I think so. And I'll let these guys, once I read these comments, I'll let these guys comment on that. NBA hype. Is Turner going to get an extension, or will he be a sign and trade? He's going to be a 39+ million per year, but isn't playing like that. Abdul, that's GG game over AKC or champs. Cooper, what harder to do, play 7 games in 14 days or play JV games in 1 like me? Who y'all got winning, Thunder or Pacers? Who calls carries anymore? SGA, go crazy. Yo, SGA, go crazy. This is for you. There's going to be parades all over Oklahoma. Lucas Bland says Indy is the best. Joe Mama says Haliburton is soft. Seth says OKC is the GOATs. Word of Elijah. There are no plays for Myles. He's playing within the system. NBA hype. Can we get your opinion on our questions, please, guys? Thank you. We will get it.
Yeah.
Matero, LeBron should retire. Coach Bald, NBA action is fantastic. Lucas Bald, Pacers are the GOAT. We got so many. What were the questions? Is Turner going to get an extension?
No.
Lambo, is Turner going to get an extension?
He should. He should.
They'll
He
most
should?
likely work it out.
You think he will?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wyatt Burdick, yeah, it is. Muterio, Haliburton will win the title next year. Jet it out. Enjoy because my Spurs are coming. Why so many Achilles injuries in the past 10 years? Any takes? It might just be overuse, man. You know, these guys play so much basketball.
Yep.
Are you guys actually coaches, high school or college? High school. Lambeau, college. Lucas Bland, Tyrese Haliburton is the GOAT. Coach Ball, place a bet on Orlando now for your next NBA championship. Seth says emojis. The word of Elijah. I'm pretty sure Siakam is playing up to his picture on this live. NBA hype. Is the NBA season too long? Yes.
Yes.
It's forever, man. I mean, it's June. They'll be back playing in when? November?
October.
The word of Elijah, Orlando. Laugh out loud.
Wait,
COVID
hold
shots.
on. Hold on.
Reasons. COVID shots. Coach Bald
No, hold on. Hold on, guys.
believes it's a COVID shot.
No, it isn't.
This is a conspiracy.
No, it's Man City. It's Erling Haaland.
Erling Haaland?
Yeah, from Norway. The big man from Norway. He just scored for Manchester City. I'm just letting y'all know.
Well, technically, if you're talking about the NBA regular season, including preseason, they actually go back in September. So they don't get nothing but 2 months off. So yeah, the NBA season is too long.
And Haliburton played on the Olympic team. So he never got any rest.
He didn't play for the Olympic team at all.
Well, he
Not last year.
But he practiced, but I mean, he needs to get in the weight room too.
Man, there's a lot of comments. Lambo, can you do the comments? There's a lot of them, dog.
Word Elijah says, no, the season is just as long as it's ever been. Metro says baseball season is long. Wyatt Burdick says mobility training is at an all-time low, which causing more contact injuries I've seen myself. It's unfortunate. Can the Washington Wizards make the NBA Finals in 2026? No.
No.
Lucas Bland says Jordan Poole got traded to the Magic. Cooper says, I'm a sophomore basketball player in Indiana, Shelbyville High School. What size of high school do you coach for?
I'm a football coach, and I'm at Fork Union Military Academy, post-grad.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only about 300 kids in the whole school.
Mm-hmm.
Seth says peeling a scab off be like face blue spam shape. NBA hype says up the Chelsea FC. Whatever I don't know says, but players been doing this all my life. The Bus family says, Metro says the Bus family traded for Luka and then sold the Lakers for $10 billion. Genius. Word of Elijah says too long. If you make the playoffs, that's why I feel like Bron's made a decision, the business decision to regroup and start fresh next year. Metro says Bron should retire. Metro says Lakers are not a top five. Lakers are not a top 5 team in the West. Lucas Bland says Zion should get traded. Question is, traded where?
Maybe they'll put Zion and Ja Morant on the same team and have a reality show.
Who?
Maybe they'll put Zion and Ja Morant on the same team and they'll have a reality show.
Oh. What about the Kamsamni though?
On the Gunman style.
Whatever I don't know says Magic looked good. They were missing offense and shooting. They got better in those areas. Lucas Bland says Zion on the Pistons. NBA hype says.
Wait, hold on. Why are we moving players already? Let's just let the Thunder have their moment.
NBA hype said I can't imagine Zion being traded to the Nets and they have him as their guy. Wish list rebuilding.
SGA probing.
We got 41 likes on this stream. 2.3 thousand views, man.
Coach Jay Freeman says, Paul, keep us informed with the British soccer update. The word of Elijah says Orlando has too much guard play. That's never a successful recipe. Turo says, if the Magic could win with Shaq, why do you think they could win now?
Man, what a blessing it is to be on here, Totem Pole.
Yeah.
The word of Elijah with the laughing emojis.
Pacers 81, Thunder 93. 3:30 left. 8 Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
Give him a helmet sticker. He's earned it. Yeah, that's what the helmet sticker was for.
Hold on. Slow down. There you go. Slow down.
NBA hype says the East is looking weak next season unless my Sixers get their ass in order, which I doubt.
Look, Chet Holmgren. It's pulling down boards. Pulling down boards. Let's see. Let me give you guys an update for. Ladies and gentlemen, 77 in the 77th minute. The Manchester City's up 4-0 on Al Anin from the UAE. That's big news because Man City is moving on to the round of 16. So, big news in world soccer. Erling Haaland. Yeah, this game's over.
Meteor says Sixers. Lucas Bland. I think LeBron should get traded. Soul Shots says, y'all trash. Meteoro says the curse, the process will hunt Sixers forever.
Word of Elijah says Mathurin with the 20-plus starters just didn't do enough. Word of Elijah says, not really. They've been used to not winning for a while now.
$86-97. OKC Thunder. SGA. They got blue headbands on tonight.
Metro says Joel Embiid will get hurt as always. Word of Elijah says Hornets really do have a chance to shock the league next year.
LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball and the Charlotte Hornets.
Toro says the Sixers got playoff P. Playoff P is as of Paul George. NYC VAR says you'll never see these two teams back there again for years. Word of Elijah says Melo, Miller, Bridges, Grant Williams, Mark Williams, Nick Smith Jr., and Nurkic, and Trey Mann. LeBron James says, Felon, you think I ain't got that blower? Yeah, you right, bro. Take his head off. Boo, boo, boo. You hear me? Hit the roll, my rap music.
$2,000 views tonight. 42 likes on Game 7. Totem Pole is back, man. I think this is our 8th live stream.
Word of Elijah says the Hornets roster.
Because we did Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Then we did all 7 of these games. So this is only our 8th stream back.
Maturo says, will the crowd jump into the court?
No, they don't allow that in NBA professional.
NYC VAR, worst NBA finals in years. Matt Choro says first title for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I mean, NYC VAR, why do you say that? It went 7 games and it was entertaining. I mean, the Game 7 wasn't, but the kid got hurt. I mean, if Haliburton don't get hurt, it's probably more interesting. So, I mean, I thought it was entertaining. I watched all 7 games.
Coach Jay Freeman says, dang, quoting the first day out lyrics. The Word of Elijah says, also they have Josh Oakey. His favorite team is the Pacers, at NYC. NYC says first title since there were the Seattle Sonics and Josh Green.
Thank you for everybody that subscribed tonight, man. Everybody that entered the chat. Y'all the best, man. And we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep Totem Pole going. We're not taking any time off during football.
Metoro says Seattle won a title. Seattle Seahawks won a Super Bowl. I think the Seattle Sonics won a championship. I'm not sure about that one. Sportsbook Lab says congratulations to OKC. Metoro says the old Supersonics won a title. Word of Elijah says shout out to Siakam for selling, but I'll be okay. John Parham says, who should Indiana trade for? Huntman says, FOKC. LeBron James says, take his head off. Boo, boo, boo.
Man, this is 2 years in a row we've live streamed the NBA Finals. We watched the Boston Celtics win last year. This year we're watching the OKC Thunder, the Oklahoma City Thunder, take home the NBA Finals trophy.
The word of Elijah says, well, they're going to need a point for some time now. Word of Elijah says, maybe Damian Lillard. NYC says all the good players got knocked out the playoffs early. Sportsbook Lab said, let's do the NBA Finals again. Next NBA Final next year. Tough way to lose like that, losing the ball handler and leader. The word, John Parrish says the word, but who? Well, word Elijah says, oh, damn, never mind. Well, you can't win the game when you got 25 turnovers and Oklahoma City has 8. So, yeah, you can't win the games like that. Coach Jay Freeman says it sure has been fun to catch a bit of you guys over the 7-game series. Way to go, Totem Pole Nation. You are back, Coach Troy Taylor. John Parham says Dan Cutoff injury not good. Cover the camera. Lamar Jackson edit Coach Lambo. There you go. Word of Elijah said, just remember, NYC VAR says the Knicks would have beat OKC. Don't know about that one. They wouldn't have beat OKC.
Who's going to be the Knicks coach, NYC VAR? Who do you think it's going to be?
Sportsbook Lab says, let's watch some arena football next weekend. Word of Elijah says, or maybe Bill. Nobody's going to give away any young points. Maybe Schroeder from the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, if y'all want to do AFL, just put it in the community tab on the
NYC VAR says Baby Mike Brown. John Parham says the word Wallace from Oklahoma City.
Man, what a blessing it's been to be on here with you guys, man. We'll see y'all